Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks for tuning in here on the Morning Woodward Show on the Woodward Sports Network. You can also listen to us on The Roar on 99.1, 93.5, and 94.7 HD2. Good morning, guys.
It is Friday.
It's Friday.
Fish.
Happy Friday.
It's Friday, Fish.
It is Friday.
We don't know how Adam feels about Fridays.
I mean, listen.
I love Fridays.
You know what my
Weekend.
problem is? I just listen.
Michigan State.
No, I just listen to way too much David Goggins.
Yeah.
It's a problem. Sometimes I just need to chill out in life, but I can't do it. So Fridays don't exist for me.
Every day's
It's just
the
another
same,
day.
man. Yeah,
Every
just
day's the
another
same. Sorry.
Live every day like it's Friday.
Yeah,
It's fine.
I mean, that's a bit much. Too much drinking happens on Friday night, so I can't live every day like it's Friday.
Very good point.
Well,
a lot of
it'd be
gypsy
more-
vodka.
It might be more fun, more interesting that way.
I mean, look, you know
You
what?
can have apple crisp on Fridays.
Yeah. Okay, so does anybody know what apple crisp is, or is it just me? Sawyer? Because apparently these traders
Sawyer
know what
thought
it
it
is.
was
No,
I have an
cereal.
idea.
I said I've heard of it. I got to look it up, to be honest.
Sawyer
Oh.
thought it was cereal.
Yeah,
I didn't
by
thought
the
it
way,
was cereal.
Applejack.
That's Applejack. That's
Yeah,
different.
so me and Sawyer think the same. What's this,
Apple
this trio
crisp.
here? What are you guys doing?
It's like apple pie, but better.
But what with what? It looks like you have like macadamia nuts on it.
No, it's like apple, cinnamon, brown sugar,
Applejack.
and then on the top you've got like oats
Applejack.
and more brown sugar. It's great. It's delicious.
Sounds like the ingredients of Apple Jacks.
Me and Sawyer were on the same wavelength. As soon as you said cereal, Sawyer, I was waiting for the yes or no. Because honestly, it did sound like cereal. For a
Would you
second, but-
recommend us trying it?
I mean, I'll make it for the morning show. That's not a problem.
I'm nervous.
Why? It's
Give me why.
a delicacy.
I'm nervous. It's like it has poison
All right.
in it or something.
I looked at it, and it made no sense to me. It looked like a caramelized apple, bunched with a bunch of crunchy stuff on it.
And that makes you nervous.
That's the crisps.
I didn't know what it was. It scared me.
Put fear.
You've ever seen something on the internet that has given you like any sort of fear? Nothing.
Yes.
Aren't you?
It
Don't,
for sure
Adam,
wasn't
don't-
apple
aren't you a guy?
crisp.
You like raw meat, right?
Yeah.
That gives me fear. Like eating raw meat. Like if
Because
I,
you've never eaten raw meat
exactly
from my hands before.
Exactly. All right, we got to move on. Let's get this
man.
topic going, man. All right, I opened that can of worms. That was my fault.
Listen. From my family, some of the best raw meat you can eat. Absolutely.
I bet.
Well, anyways.
What an intro.
I know. Raw meat to apple crisp.
Have you guys ever gotten yelled at before by a random adult?
Since
we're on the subject?
That's
Oh, yeah,
a
you might as well
legendary
open it up.
story.
I mean,
Yeah,
Anybody in
we're-
this room, have you ever been yelled at by a random adult? But they
Yes.
were encouraging you.
Yes.
positively
Probably.
All
yelling
right,
at
I
you.
want to hear the story.
Probably. Oh.
Well, I mean, no.
Well, that's different.
No, we're
I don't know
good
where
here.
we're going with this. Long story short, guys, I got yelled at the gym this morning by some random middle-aged man telling me to bench more and to do more plates and called me a bitch on multiple occasions. I've never felt so defeated in my life, but more motivated. This guy motivated the hell out of me and also terrified me. Having said that, we have a show to do.
We do.
Guys,
Sorry.
It's New year, new Adam. It's fine. Anyways, we're looking back on the 2021 NFL draft, guys. Going into, well, all the talks that we've had this year about the draft. What are our takes on the 2021 draft? Where do those players go? How did they do this year? Let's talk about it.
I mean, I think the easiest way to start is maybe one, if you're lucky, two quarterbacks work out every draft. Mm-hmm. And they're not always in the first round. And the last time we've had three quarterbacks taken 1, 2, and 3, only one of them worked out. And here we are this year with Trey Lance, Trevor Lawrence, and Zach Wilson. We haven't seen enough of Trey Lance. He looked good in his most recent start, but he's a next year guy. So you're not going to be able to know. Trevor Lawrence, the Jacksonville Jaguars are a mess right now. Who knows what the future holds there? Who's the head coach? Who's the GM? Zach Wilson, Robert Saleh, hip to hip. Zach Wilson has improved. He's shown moments, but to be an NFL quarterback, you need to play consistently every single game.
And he's starting to learn slowly.
So yes, rookie, I do want to be patient, but look, this was a skill position draft. Unbelievable. Kyle Pitts, Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, Patrick Surtain, J.C. Horn, Micah Parsons, and then you go in the trenches, Rashawn Slater, Penei Sewell. Mac Jones was the last quarterback taken in the first round.
You think Denver reconsiders that pick if they got to redraft?
So I think they made the right choice.
Okay.
Mac Jones doesn't work in Denver. But the point is, it was a good draft, and it was a deep draft. The fourth round had some of the best talent that you're witnessing today. So, yeah, look, I think that one of the biggest misses in the first round this year, I hate to say it, the Eagles, Devontae Smith, I like the kid, but damn it, to take him number 10 overall, and Micah Parsons, Rashawn Slater, Zaven Collins, Najee Harris, these kind of players going by, it's unbelievable.
I think it was overcorrection. Excuse me, because they already missed on Justin Jefferson. They missed on DK, and then this year they're like, all right, you got to see what you have in Jalen Hurts. They got a good
receiver. I'm not saying he's not a good receiver, but at 10,
true. But you got to see who you have in your quarterback. So I can kind of see why they took the Alabama receiver for their Alabama quarterback. So
well, look, I did mention the fourth round. The fourth round features players. You ready for this? I don't think you're ready for this.
Oh God.
Michael Carter, running back out of the New York Jets, steal in the fourth round. Amon-Ra St. Brown, steal in the fourth round. Absolutely, probably the steal of the draft, given draft position and value. Over 800 yards receiving. 800 yards receiving, and I can't believe it. Fourth round pick. That'll do. That'll do. Ramondre Stevenson, running back for the Patriots. Damn good player. Chuba Hubbard, fourth round, damn good player. These are just the fourth round players. We haven't even gone to the second or third round.
Yep.
And in the second round, I think the obvious one, even though injury history and problems, you have Javonte Williams. You have Asante Samuel Jr. Rondale Moore, not much of a fan of, honestly, right now. But Pat Firemouth, tight end. Not bad of a pick.
Yeah.
Not bad.
He's playing good.
Tutu Atwell, injured. Didn't see much. But still, Creed Humphrey, starting center for the Chiefs, second round. There's players there. Jalen Mayfield, tackled for the Falcons. I hope this serves as, a reminder of just how important the other rounds are in the draft as well. And it's not just the first pick that you have. Because you look at the Jets, their first-round picks were Elijah Vera Tucker and Zach Wilson. That's what the Jets got, and they didn't get much better.
Look at the Giants. They kind of reached for Kadarius Toney. They took him 20th. They traded back.
Yeah,
took Kadarius.
That's what happens when Dave Gettleman's your GM.
I know.
So, look, guys, some people are meant to be dumb in life. You can't change these things. Not everybody's going to be Mark Zuckerberg. Not everybody's going to be, I don't know, who's the Apple dude? The one that yelled at all the engineers?
Steve Jobs? Yeah, Steve Jobs.
No, you're not going to be Steve Jobs. And that's okay. And
some people have to be like Hub.
Some people have to be like Hub, the guy that takes personal feelings into account when he's voting on the MVP.
100%. You're
not all going to be home runs. So just accept that you're part of the dumb, and Dave Gettleman is part of the dumb.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think it's pretty straightforward. Travis Etienne for the Jaguars. Hopefully he's back next year. You want to see what he gives you. But, look, I don't look at the first round and say, wow, this team missed. Outside of, if you want to look at the first three quarterbacks taken, maybe I'd consider it. But Zaven Collins, good player. Leatherwood for the Raiders, not a bad pick.
Yeah.
Not awful.
Not awful.
Kadarius Toney, that was bad. Caleb Farley, I like it. Tennessee. Kwity Paye, Indianapolis, working out. Darisaw, working out. Najee, working out. Etienne, yet to be proven. Newsome II, working out. Rashad Bateman, working out. Peyton Turner, okay. Eric Stokes, for sure, working out.
Yeah, good
Gregory
pick.
Rousseau, absolutely working out.
Adafe,
one
of the steals.
One of the steals in the first round. And Tampa Bay, the DN they got, okay. But I just gave you 26 players that worked out in the first round. You have 2 picks in the first 26. You're going to be just fine. Make the right decision. And again, even if you don't take the guy that ends up being all-pro, let's say instead of Micah Parsons, you got Rashawn Slater, or vice versa.
Right.
Let's say you drafted Justin Fields like Chicago did, and then Parsons and Slater went after him like they did. Are you frustrated as a Chicago fan? Yeah, likely. But that's different. We're talking about a quarterback. I wish there was maybe a better example, but maybe even Miami. You took Jalen Waddle. He's been your best offensive player this year. So you can't be mad there. So you're going to get good players. Are there going to be players that may be better than the player you take at number 2? There's a good chance of that. Happens every year.
Yeah.
Zach Wilson, the number 2 pick this past draft. Who's better than him? Trey Lance so far, because, he's unproven. Kyle Pitts, yep. Jamar Chase, yep. Waddle, yes. Sewell, yes. Surtain, yes. Parsons, yes. Slater, yes. It happens. But do you think the Jets fans are mad that they took a flyer on a franchise quarterback? No, of course not. So Detroit, when you go number 2 and it's an edge rusher, or maybe you trade back even, there is a good possibility somebody is going to go past you, whether it was for positional value or situational or you didn't need him. Regardless, might be better than the player you take. And you have to be willing to accept that. And I'm not saying in a bad way. But you need to understand that this is not as simple as 1 + 1. So all you can do, Brad Holmes, this upcoming draft is nail the first, second, and third rounds. If you do that, and again, easier said than done, but if you can nail a majority of those picks, not even all of them, if you can nail 60% of this draft,
hit more than you missed.
Hell, 50% I'll take.
Yep.
You'll be just fine. Amon-Ra St. Brown is why last year's draft was an absolute home run. Happy about Penei Sewell. He's done such a great job.
Yeah.
But Amon-Ra St. Brown in the 4th round, that's what you're looking for. That's how you build championship teams later in the draft. So yeah, I think what we can learn from looking back on the 2021 draft is, you know what? There's always going to be ball players. We just got to pick the right one.
Yeah.
And there are going to be guys like Atlanta, guys. They took Kyle Pitts at 4. Do you think Atlanta's crying because they didn't get Jamar Chase or Micah Parsons or Rashawn Slater or Penei Sewell? No, they're content. Same with the Bengals. Well, the Bengals, they're really happy they got Chase. But even, Detroit, they got Penei Sewell. They're happy. Yeah, Rashawn Slater. Yeah, Micah Parsons. Sure. Yeah, Zaven Collins. But no, they got who they wanted. They're happy. Move on. This isn't the Ebron Donald, comparison.
I know we always talk about Matt Rule. I want to ask you. I know J.C. Horn, good player.
Yep.
Do you think Matt Rule missed his chance to take a quarterback? He passed on Justin and Mac Jones.
No. I don't think Mac would have worked in Carolina, and they had the intention of going.
I got to ask you this, too. You keep saying Mac won't work there.
Yeah.
I get New England makes him look a little better.
It's not that they make him look a little better.
What's your reasoning for it?
When you're Mac Jones and any rookie quarterback, when you go to a Carolina, when you go to a Denver, when you go to any of these teams, and Josh McDaniels is not your OC, and Bill Belichick is not your head coach, and you don't have that kind of defense, and you don't have that kind of commitment to the run game, you're going to get exposed.
Yeah.
And you're going to throw 18, 20, 24 interceptions your first year, and no one's going to like it. That's why.
That's true.
I'm not saying Mac Jones wouldn't be a decent quarterback, but it wouldn't have worked to what you see now from Mac Jones. That only works in New England year 1. Now, can he become better? And who knows? Is he going to be an all-timer? Who knows? But the point is, he's so well protected. Damian Harris, Stevenson, the offensive line.
Yeah.
They signed 2 tight ends of free agency. That's why.
Built a squad around him.
That's why. So we do got to go to break. But I hope you all take away one thing from this NFL draft. Be patient.
And
there are ball players. 26, I could argue 28 out of the 32 taken in the first round are damn good players that you wouldn't mind at any pick. Obviously not like top 5, but you guys get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Anything past 10, there's ball players there. And there's ball players in the top 10. You trade back. Pick at 2, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Detroit's in a good position, and that's really where I'm getting at this morning.
And where I can agree with you is trading back doesn't seem as crazy considering what Brad Holmes has found later in the draft. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Derek Barnes, these guys, listen, have confidence in them because this is the first time I can say confidently I trust the man making decisions. And I agree with what the chat's saying too. free agency might be a little different than the draft because Brad Holmes, we know, excels in the draft. I'm curious to see what he does once the Lions get more cap space. But
yeah, they did well in undrafted free agency as well.
Yeah.
So can't knock them there. But guys, I'm excited. I really am. I think this is probably one of the first times I can recall, probably since the Calvin draft.
Yeah.
Where I was like on my seat, nervous. Oh man, the Raiders are gonna get Calvin. We're gonna get stuck with nobody. I hope they take Jamarcus Russell and they mess it up. And Al Davis, my man, rest in peace, made the right decision. Took Jamarcus Russell. So, look, Lions are in a good position. And with Brad Holmes at the helm, I think this offseason will be very it'll be very calm. There won't be a lot of stress, tension, headaches, nothing. You feel confident in the guy making decisions at the top. That's all you can ask for, really.
Yep.
All right, guys, well, when we come back, which team do we think is closer to a national title, Michigan or Michigan State? But first, let's hear about the Folding Warehouse.
All right, guys, the Folding Warehouse is where you need to be, whether it's weekdays, weekends, corporate party event, you just want to take your girlfriend or boyfriend out for a good time. Regardless, Folding Warehouse is a great time. The original football bowling pin game called Folding. Visit the Folding Warehouse in Hamtramck. They have a $2 Mystic beer machine, over 100 beers in the facility, multiple bars, cater your own food or bring it in. Up to you guys. It's a great time. They have their $10 unlimited open play, or you can reserve your own lane for $120 for 2 hours. Host up to 10 people, family, friends. Doesn't matter. Great time. Good energy. If you're Braylon and Ryan and you cheated to win your trophy, listen, just saying. Open challenge being sent from the morning show to the bottom line.
Throwing the challenge
I'm just
flag.
saying, there are cheaters on this network. Having said that, visit the Folding Warehouse in Hamtramck. Again, visit their website as well, thefoldingwarehouse.com. Again, that's foldingwarehouse.com.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart, right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Your Detroit alternative to the normal sports blah, blah, blah. It's Woodward Sports.
Welcome back, and thanks for tuning in here on the Morning Woodward Show on the Woodward Sports Network. Make sure you're following us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and Twitch. Download the Woodward Sports app on Apple and Google Play, and listen to our podcast wherever you like to listen, whether it's on Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, or Amazon Music. Guys, Michigan, Michigan State both had phenomenal seasons. Who do we think is closer to a national title?
Ooh, Jeff?
Well, to me, it's Michigan. And I'll say this. Considering how far ahead of the spectrum they are in terms of already having an established not only brand currently and before Jim Harbaugh, but quite frankly, it's going to take Mel Tucker a year or two to get more talent. And he did a great job this year through the transfer portal. But let's look at the reality. This year, 2022 recruiting classes. This year, Michigan has the 9th best recruiting class for 2022 compared to State. They are ranked at 21st. Now, they will get better, but the reality is they're ranked behind Arkansas and South Carolina. So if you believe in Mel Tucker, which I do, I think he's a great head coach, and you think he's closer to a national championship, that's your opinion. Mine, I think Michigan has obviously the brand, and they just made the college football playoff. It's a great selling point. Jim Harbaugh, if he stays, I don't know, man. It's pretty tough, and I think they're not only closer, but Mel is just a little bit behind. Although Mel has defeated Jim. We get it 2 years in a row now. I just think in terms of getting recruits, and now with the NIL, and now you're going to have to start really paying these guys. Boosters are big, very important, and Michigan State has some pretty rich boosters. So we'll see, but to me, it's Michigan, man.
Let me
I'm
ask you
stick by
this.
it.
In 3 years, who's closer to winning a national title?
Hopefully, I mean, if Jim isn't...
I'm asking, no, just...
I'm going to say Jim. I'm going to say Jim because he has to.
Okay, 5 years.
Hopefully Jim has already won one. I mean, Jim has to get there, man. If
so
in 5 years Jim has won one and still 1 or 2 Big Tens, I mean, come on, dude. What are we doing here?
Well, again,
what are we doing?
Who can get and win a national championship?
I'm sticking.
And I don't know why anybody can sit up here, honestly. I don't know why anyone can even think that Mel Tucker's not on his way.
No.
And maybe he is. But for me, I'm going with Mel Tucker.
You think he's closer?
Yeah.
The question is closer.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're basically
11
saying,
win season, year 2. Technically, I would consider it year 1. And guys, the atmosphere in that locker room, just pay attention, guys. Pay attention. Pay attention to the journalists, the guys covering the team on a beat. The same coach that you see chopping in the locker room, giving some of the best motivational speeches I've ever heard of in my life, is the same guy flying a private jet with a cigar in his mouth, recruiting players. Guys, I'm telling you, Mel Tucker has come in with the same swag, I could argue, that Jim Harbaugh came in. Now, different brands, different levels, absolutely. But Michigan, this was your opportunity to get to a national title game. Are you going to win in Columbus next year and go back to the Big Ten title game and go back to the college football playoff? That's a tough ask, even with J.J. McCarthy.
You think Michigan State's going to?
I'm not saying next year, but who's closer? Based on the trajectory, I'm going Michigan State. I really am.
So hold on. Let me get this straight. And
go ahead, ask me what you want.
It's tough because I don't want to. This is not disrespecting Mel Tucker, but you're putting your faith in a guy. 3rd year total coaching, his first season, double-digit wins, and now he's never made a playoff. Obviously, never won a Big Ten, never won any of that. And this is again no disrespect. You're confident he's closer.
He can chop off my ligaments. He can chop off my limbs. I'm all in on Mel Tucker. I'm not joking, guys. This guy, look, they hit a home run. They did. And that's the thing I don't want to get twisted. With Jim Harbaugh is a phenomenal coach. Exceptional. Would get a job anywhere if he left Michigan right now. I don't have a problem with Jim Harbaugh. I love what Michigan looks like next year. J.J. McCarthy, Donovan Edwards, Andrew Anthony. Hopefully the defense can recover. 2nd year under Mike McDonald. He'll get his, more experience as he goes. Michigan aren't going away. But who I'm more confident in? I'm going to be more confident in the guy that can pull more recruits out of the South than anybody in the Big Ten outside of Ohio State. That's different.
You're still...
Yeah, I'm going to invest between Michigan and Michigan State. I'm going on Mel Tucker. It took him his 2nd year to deliver 11 wins.
Also...
11 wins.
Mid-20s recruiting class, which is important.
11 wins.
It'll get better, I'm sure, but you need good players. And I get he's the best recruiting in the South, but at the end of the day, especially with the NIL, I mean, you're going against SEC teams at the end of the day. And he may grab some recruits, but...
I don't want to diminish... Again, I'm not diminishing Jim Harbaugh here, because I've been a big supporter of his all season. Having said that, Mel Tucker won 11 games in his 2nd year. You haven't won 11 games up until your 7th.
They got 10.
Now, yes... They had the Heisman front runner. Yes, I know there's so many factors. But you know what? You bring in any other coach, Michigan State win 3-4 games last year and the year prior. They're not a good football team. Now they are. Guy gets it. The guy understands how to control a locker room, how to coach up his players, motivate them. He understands marketing and branding so well. The whole chop thing, that is a signature aspect of the Michigan State football program right now. You go to any fanatic Spartan, I'm sure they have an axe in their house now, or at least a picture of one. I'm not joking. So yeah, who am I more confident in? Why wouldn't I be so confident in Mel Tucker?
No, and that...
in a 5-year window, where I have to keep in mind that, well, if Harbaugh doesn't win a Big Ten, let's say in the next 2 years, well, he goes into year 10 with 1 Big Ten title.
But
is he going to go take an NFL job, or is he just going to retire? Now, look, I mean, that's all speculation.
Yeah.
But let's say these guys stick it out for the next 5 years. Who am I more confident in? Mel Tucker.
Then let me ask you this.
Because I don't know what the ceiling is of Michigan State. It hasn't come to me yet.
But
I think 2 Fridays ago we saw the ceiling for Michigan. Go ahead.
We talk about the importance of having a quarterback, right? And especially in college football. Dabo Swinney, like to bring that up. Peyton Thorne for Michigan State. Dabo Swinney, what did he win his first 7 years? We talk about this all the time.
Multiple ACC titles. Okay. Yeah, I think 4 or 5.
Okay. So now we're at the point now where he finally gets a quarterback. They finally make that jump. They get to a national championship. They kind of have they kind of have that dynasty until they lost, obviously, Trevor Lawrence. How important is it to get your quarterback? We think J.J. McCarthy's the guy. I'm assuming after J.J. McCarthy, you land another top recruit. Not saying Michigan State isn't going to do that, but they're closer. They have at least the quarterback. And I'm not saying Peyton Thorne is trash. The guy's a great quarterback. I just think not only that, I'm not concerned about the last 7 years. I think people like to bring that up. If he hasn't did it in 7 years, he's not going to do it. Well,
I think we killed that narrative this year.
Yeah, like in my opinion, I think he's closer because I think JJ, I'm confident in him. And if he gets the quarterback and he at least forms a formidable team around it, I don't know. They're closer right now.
This is what people need to understand. How much better can Michigan get at recruiting? They just had their best season under Harbaugh. They had the 15th ranked recruiting class, I believe.
Yeah, but they had a lot of holes on that team. I mean, they don't have a number one wide receiver. They don't have a quarterback.
But here's where I'm going to go with it.
Michigan State had 2 of them. I mean,
Michigan State, first 11-win season. He gets another 10-win season. Hell, another 11-win season. You're going to be seeing players that you've never seen at Michigan State. And again, maybe I'm a bit too hyped currently on Mel Tucker. Sure. But I see it. And you guys lose your fandom for 1 minute, please, and your alma mater and all this crap. Lose it for 1 second. Jim Harbaugh finally beat Ohio State, finally beat the arch rival, finally got past them and won the Big Ten. And he got to the national semifinal, and they didn't look good.
Yeah.
Now, does that diminish their season? Absolutely
No, because they had flaws on that team. Yeah.
But they're losing their 2 best players on defense. They're losing the best player in the secondary on defense, Daxton Hill. They're losing 3 players.
Who's Mel Tucker losing? Heisman candidate.
Yeah, a running back.
Okay, a running back. Now
I
just
understand.
A running back. Like, you can't just say he is a running back.
Again, he's keeping a majority of his players. He's keeping the wide receiver, who's one of the most dynamic players in football.
Naylor's leaving, yeah.
Naylor's leaving, but Reed's staying.
Yeah, Reed's staying.
So, yeah, excuse me. Again, in 5 years, Mel Tucker's train right now is like this.
It is. Projection.
And with Michigan, yes, it has been going up, especially because they finally delivered. But it didn't translate in the recruiting class. Look, J.J. McCarthy's your future. If he can do it, no one will be happier than me.
I'll be happy. I'll be happy for either one. I mean, these guys are both have great projections.
Who's closer to beating an Ohio State, getting to a Big Ten title game, and going to a natty? I don't know. I think I saw the ceiling of Michigan against Georgia. I think I saw their ceiling.
I don't
Now, with
think
J.J.
so.
McCarthy, could it be slightly higher? Absolutely.
With more talent and wide receiver and a better quarterback,
But that's
definitely.
not how they recruit.
But that's how they're going to have to. And at least they got a better quarterback.
They've been saying they have to since they hired the OC. Like, you can't out-recruit some of these teams. And for me, I feel like Mel Tucker can absolutely do it. More so than Jim Harbaugh. Maybe I'm on drugs this morning.
And people talk about, listen, I see Jeff doesn't understand Mel's recruiting monster, and I get it. Mel Tucker is behind Arkansas and South Carolina this year in recruiting classes. Maybe next year, and he's going to get better. But guys act like he has a top 7 recruiting class this year. Like, it's going to take some time.
Yeah, but
for him
that's
to
where
creep.
the ceiling comes into play, right? Because when Harbaugh came in, it was right away. Top 5 recruiting classes, top 7, top 8. And he stopped delivering, and the hype machine kind of went down, and now you're seeing average recruiting classes that don't deliver national championships. How do you get there? You got to finish top 7, top 8.
Mm-hmm.
You're telling me in 3 years Mel Tucker can't get there if he continues the success he's having? Absolutely. I like Michigan State moving forward. Whew. Maddie, as a Michigan State girl herself, I know you're going to say Michigan State, but you got to tell me. Where are we going here?
Honestly,
Mel Tucker, Jim Harbaugh.
It's a tough one. Would I love to say Mel Tucker? Absolutely. Do I think he's on track to do great things? Absolutely. I do think Jim Harbaugh will get there first. But, man, I don't know. It's
not like you're wrong either way. Like, I feel like that's the thing. Like, I mean, if you like Mel Tucker, you like Mel Tucker. It's how you feel. I mean, maybe I'm a little biased, but no bias. We like Jim.
Jack, I'm telling you right now, Jack, before we go to break, if Cade McNamara is starting next year, you're going to see Angry Adam for a good 14, 15 weeks. And I'm going to have my pitchfork. I'm going to come up here dressed in weird costumes, and I'm going to be calling for the head of everybody at Michigan. You do not sit that kid next year. You do not. Next year, if it's going to be quote-unquote your down year, JJ gets every snap.
Yeah.
In his junior year, he tries to lead you to the title game. Don't mess that up. Oh, my goodness, Jack. I hope that's not the case. No, Cade McNamara can kick rocks.
Yeah, he can.
We've seen enough. You know where he was in the national semifinal game? He was on his ass.
Yeah, he was the worst quarterback in the playoffs, like clearly, before the game even started.
Yeah, if you ranked quarterbacks before you even played a game in the college football playoff, it would be Bryce Young,
Yep, Desmond
Bennett, Stenson Bennett, and then
Yep, and then
Desmond Ritter,
bottom,
and then like a dog pile of manure, and then Cade McNamara.
I was waiting for that one.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, when we come back, we're previewing the Packers-Lions game, so stay with us. But first, let's talk about MyBookie.
MyBookie, guys, is the premier sports book that you need to get involved with. It's a new year, new you, new winnings, new opportunities, new parlays, new future bets. Guys, MyBookie is where it's at. Bet from anywhere, anytime using MyBookie. And, of course, when you sign up using code Woodward. They'll match your deposit, dollar for dollar, guys. New year. This isn't going to last forever, especially before the Super Bowl, so you guys better hurry up. Dollar for dollar match with MyBookie. You put in $100, they'll match you $100. You put in $250, they'll give you $250. And, of course, if you're like Sawyer, struggling to win in the market, alcohol and gambling problems, well, you need to call the Gambling Problem Hotline at 1-800-270-7117.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Follow us everywhere. Just search Woodward Sports on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, IG, and more.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us here on the Morning Woodward Show on the Woodward Sports Network. Also featured on The Roar on 99.1, 93.5, and 94.7 HD2. Guys, we have Lions-Packers this week. We don't know if they're resting. We don't know if they're playing. But will this be one of the games that the Lions actually win?
Well, now that they locked in the number 2 pick, I don't think people are going to be upset either way.
No.
Exactly.
But I think the Packers are playing. And I like what Matt LaFleur said, and that's just my mindset. So that's why I'm going to agree with him. A 30-week layoff from physical football, 100 miles an hour, full contact, high speed, making decisions during the game, on the sidelines, as a coaching staff, as players, understanding packages, when you're in, when you're out. 3 weeks is a lot for me, and I'm not comfortable with it. And yeah, maybe I only play them the first half, or even the first quarter. But please, I disagree wholeheartedly. Now with Joe Burrow, it's a different case. He's injured. He should rest the last game of the year. It is technically meaningless. But to give a team a 3-week layoff from now till the divisional round, where you're coming off a team that's going to be, or that would have won their wild card game.
Fresh off a game.
Still in, grind mode. Not going to miss a beat to start a game. And then you're going to be like trying to find your footing in those first 3-4 drives. And I heard people go out and say this. Oh, well, they should rest. Because, it's only the first few drives that they're going to, miss out and catch, not have their feet under them. And I thought to myself, man, 2-3 drives, that can cost you a football game if you're not ready.
Yeah.
That could be all the difference. That could be a turnover or two from you losing that football game. So, no, I think the Packers should play. Mm-hmm. Having said that, where does it leave the Lions? Guys, I know Amon-Ra St. Brown needs 197 yards to get 1,000 yards on the
197.
It's not going to happen.
Imagine that.
So can we not? Let's start there.
Tim Boyle throwing
I've
him
seen
the
it a
ball.
lot. I literally, a whole Reddit forum. Why the Lions should target Amon-Ra St. Brown 20 times on Sunday. And I'm just thinking to myself, why? Why would we do this to ourselves? What kind of hope, what kind of standard do we set? But moving past the wide receiver. DeAndre Swift will be playing. Hopefully he can go through that whole game without getting hurt. That would be ideal. And guys, that's why I'm so pro trading him. Is he going to be available for you next year? The year after, when you're ready to compete, is he going to be an X-Factor player who's available 16, 17 games a year? And if not, why is he on your roster? You think Carolina's happy paying Christian McCaffrey to sit on the sideline? Even right now, you think the Titans are happy about Derrick Henry? Now, they managed. They're a much better organization, much better football team, much better coaching staff. But now they get him back. They just reactivated him. Everything's good. But you think if Derrick Henry was missing 4 or 5 games every single year to start his career up until now, they would tolerate it? No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't have even paid him. So, yes, running backs are not the most important thing. But you get to see one on Sunday. The 3-week layoff hurts teams? No, that can't be it, can it? How is that even possible? If so, why does the NCAA do it for a championship game? Wow, I like the sarcasm from Jack, Michigan fan himself. I think it's dumb. I even think it's dumb for the college football playoff, but you have to understand why they do it. Finals, and then it's around New Year's Eve. It fits in with their bowl game schedule. That's why they do it. I don't like it in college, but they have to do it that way.
Yeah.
But the way I see it, Jeff, playing out on Sunday, Green Bay starts with their full team, probably on a snap count, and by the end of the half, or maybe a little 5-10 minutes, not even 10, 5 minutes into the third, they pull everybody.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think starters are going to play for Green Bay. They might not finish the game, but they're going to be playing. And, well, they better be playing. I'll be there. I want to see Aaron Rodgers play. But Tim Boyle, we know he's starting. Jared Goff out with injury. This game, I mean, to give a prediction, I mean, really, it does not matter at this point. Win or loss, you prefer they lose. They're going to stay in that top 2 anyway. And if the Jags win, you have a chance to slide in that number 1 overall pick. But the point is, listen, you just want to watch the young guys. That's all I'm doing. I want to see Amon-Ra St. Brown. I want to see these guys. Levi. How does Levi Ozarike and Derek Barnes bounce back from last week? How does Tim Boyle look, getting more and more career starts? It's nothing on the football field. I could care less. If the Lions go out and get absolutely obliterated, I mean, it is what it is. But to your point, I don't fault Matt LaFleur. It's very smart. We went through the statistics. I mean, and you talk about college, and college has their own way of doing things. But in the NFL, teams that rest their starters going into the playoff game, having that, multiple weeks off, it doesn't end well. And you have to be a damn good team for it, too. And I don't think the Green Bay Packers can afford it, considering the last couple years they've been in the NFC Championship game. They couldn't close. So they want to play their best football. They want to go hot into the playoffs. And I think they're going to do just that. The Lions, Lions fans, you're watching players, you're scouting at this point. Just check out guys. They're going to be playing a ton of different people. Derek Barnes, and then they're going to get a lot of action. Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's not going to get 190, whatever it was, 197 yards, but I'm sure he'll have a good game, especially with Tim Boyle. They played well against Atlanta, so I'm not worried about it. Takeaways. I know we'll have Corey in here and to talk about it, and we can go through all the specifics of it. But overall, I think the Green Bay Packers beat the brakes off the Lions, and that's just the reality of it. Whether the starters, they'll play a majority of the game. Maybe Jordan Love comes in at some point, but the Lions secondary is going to have some problems with Devontae Adams, and that is that. So we'll see the score. We'll get to a score prediction, but I see the Packers walking away with a win, cruise right into the playoffs, and chasing that championship. So that is what it is. Just watch the young guys, man. That's all I'm doing.
Look, with teams that typically have a bye week, when they rest week 17, it typically never works out.
Oh, look at the Ravens.
But now 17 games scheduled. This is week 18. But the point is, in the final game of the year, if you can play your players, you do it.
Yeah.
You don't waste one more opportunity to get in-game reps, especially when you have a 3-week layoff. I don't like that. I don't. I think it's awful.
No.
Why would you put yourself in that position? So I'm with Matt LaFleur in this case. I have no issues with it. Not bad. This thing happens every morning. But we're just going to cruise along and act like it never happened. Maddie, I do have a question for you. How do you feel about teams resting in the final game of the season, whether they have a bye week or they don't, and they just want to rest their players? Are you for resting players going into the week? Or is it really, no, you don't care?
No, I'm not here for it. Not at all.
Okay, so you're against it, for sure.
I'm absolutely against resting. If you think about it, 1 week is just going to throw you off your game. You've been playing 18 weeks. Why are you going to take a week off now? You're going to totally screw everything up. It's been a habit. You create these habits. You create all the things that you're doing on the weekends, and then you're going to rest for a week? That doesn't feel right. That being said, though, is this the perfect game for the Packers to have? as their last game
In
against the
terms
Lions?
of
Being easy for them.
yeah. It should be an easy game. Look, Zadarius Smith and Jair Alexander are expected to be back. 2 players that have missed the majority of the season. They're going to want to get about 20, 25, 30 snaps in on defense. They're going to have good players in. So yeah, I'm with you. This is probably the best case scenario for the Packers. I don't think Matt LaFleur wants to ruin his record of being 5-0 against against the Lions. He's never lost to any NFC North team outside of the Vikings. So he probably wants to keep that streak intact too, and he wants to get his 40th win. Like, there is motivation behind everything. And honestly, you should play your players.
Yeah.
Definitely. And
The
considering
Buccaneers did it. They had already booked a spot in the playoffs. They were going to play the Washington football team on the road no matter what. They could have rested Tom Brady, Mike Evans. No, they didn't. They played. They kept the rhythm, and they made a Super Bowl run.
You know what's ironic about this, and this is why I agree with Matt LaFleur wholeheartedly. The Ravens, remember they went 14-2 with Lamar Jackson, had the MVP year, and they rested their starters, and they took on who? The hot Tennessee Titans. And we talk about this. You run into a hot team. Derrick Henry went for 200 yards against them. Lamar didn't look like himself. They got blown out 28-12. And they went 14-2 that season.
Imagine a 3-week layoff trying to prepare to tackle that guy. And play a team that has played Week 17.
Yep.
Played the wild card. Now ready for the divisional. They have 2 games of high-level football ready, and you're sitting there coming off of a trip to Miami thinking you're going to punch Tennessee in the mouth. I don't agree with it. But
not even veteran teams, too. I like to add that, too.
do I think it's a good opportunity for the Lions? Sure, but I'm looking at the Packers more than I am the Lions this week. I'm really not paying attention much in terms of there's nothing the Lions can do this weekend that'll change anything for me. That's it. We're in off-season mode. I told you guys, I'm in Hawaii right now. I'm on break.
You're in Cancun
I'm on
already.
vacation.
Yep.
I'm chilling, getting ready for the draft, watching a bunch of 19-year-olds run around the football field, seeing which ones I like and which ones I don't like. That's what I'm doing in my free time. I'm not even stressing. Sheila can't bother me. Brad Holmes, love him. Dan Campbell, can't say anything to bother me right now. I'm chilling. I'm on vacation. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Give me my margarita.
We're in Cabo right now.
Give me my margarita.
Yep.
Give me 2 shots of whatever you have. Let's get it going. I am ready for break.
Get your gypsy vodka.
I apologize. I'm sorry. I probably should have led that much better, but we do got to go to break. When we get back, fun topic next. I'll leave it a surprise. Jeff, could you please tell us about our good friends at Guardian Alarm?
Well, if you're watching the game this weekend, you know the Lions defense will be empty-handed. But Guardian Alarm, they get it. They're not going to be empty-handed for you, and they have a good defense. And on and off the field, they help you feel secure. Guardian Alarm has state-of-the-art technology that helps you feel safe, all with 24/7 local monitoring. Guardian Alarm also has convenient features that let you check in on your home, control lights and temperatures, even detect smoke or carbon monoxide. It will even let you lock and unlock doors. Call 800-STAY-OUT today. You heard Fish. That's 800-STAY-OUT today. Guardian Alarm has been trusted for over 90 years at keeping families safe.
Everything that we've hoped for, finally.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Brandon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
It's all happening now.
Woodward Sports. Missed part of the show today? Watch again on YouTube or download the podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in here on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. You guys, we have a fun topic right now. Will college athletes be considered free agents? Adam, what are your thoughts?
I want to hear Jeff. He's Jeff is younger than I am, and I have. I think I am going to have a different.
Definitely.
I didn't know that. What? That's news to me.
Listen, it's the reality of the NIL. We know this now, and at the end of the day, you know, the more funders you have, the more beneficial you'll be to landing top recruits. But at the end of the day, I'm happy for the kids. I'm happy. They deserve it. And at this point, the whole history of college football and the profiting of these of all kids. I mean, going into the draft, you know, whether it's getting injured, and when you talk about Jake Butt and these guys going into the league, pretty much ruining their college or NFL careers. I love it, man. Get these kids paid. Now, it is going to cause some issues. I can see whether, a lot of guys are in the transfer portal. This year, I think it's a record amount in the transfer portal, and you're starting to see that. It's starting to turn into, free agency in college football, but that's the reality. I think more than 3,000 football players across the NCAA have entered the transfer portal since August 1st. That's an average of 11 per team, but I could give to Justin. I'm not going to say it because, listen, kids deserve it. And at the end of the day, guys like Caleb Williams, if you are talented at what you do and you work on your craft, there's going to be a college out there that's willing to, either give you a free truck. You're seeing it now, Suburban Fords, all these Ford dealerships, kids getting free cars, money. Bryce Young signed. What do you have? He was a millionaire before he even touched the field, and I can see how that can be detrimental to kids, especially young, having all that money. But at the same time, they deserve it, and I'm fine with it. At this point, it's going to, disadvantages are going to come for, colleges that necessarily can't afford players. But, I mean, this is what recruiting is. If I'm a 5-star recruit, I'm not even going to Youngstown State. I'm going to Georgia or Alabama anyway. So if I'm going to make money and go there, sign me up. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I think it's turned into this free agency type landscape, and I don't have a problem with it, in theory. I'll get to my issue with it a little later. But what I will say is that this has opened the door for college athletes to be shopped around by A, the highest bidder, and B, the nicest program. Caleb Williams leaving Oklahoma, a top eight school. Oof. I mean, that's a big deal. Yes, the coach just left, I totally understand, but
yeah.
We're now in the marketplace where if I commit to Alabama as a 5-star recruit and I'm not playing year one, all right, cool. I think I'm going to go to LSU. They're going to pay me $750,000 for my services, and I'll play. It's basically free agency. It really is. Corey, do you want to hop in real quick? Awesome. It's basically free agency, and although I'm all for it, everybody makes money off of these student athletes. I'm all for them getting paid. Makes sense to me. How we're going about it, I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah.
It's still extremely unproven. But what I will say is, just in a vacuum, can we all keep in mind we are shopping 17, 18-year-olds out of high school who aren't even old enough to drink, who most, I wouldn't say a majority, but most, especially at that level, are coming from below middle class families. We're shopping their futures, not what's best for their football career, not what's best for their education, but what's best for the short-term interim on the field and in my pocket.
Can't you have both? You can still look for the better opportunity and get paid.
Very few have both. See, very few have
Corey,
both.
let me get Corey.
Corey, go ahead.
I mean, everybody else is making money off them for decades and decades and decades. Why not go out there and go get your buck?
I'm with you.
I mean, okay, look at this, man. These coaches are. Let's go on a recruiting tip first. These coaches will recruit. Oh, I'm gonna walk in. They walk into living room, say they're gonna do this and do that for the kids, make all the promise to the parents, and then boom, the next highest bidder from another school comes, and then they up and leave, and then boom, all those kids' promises are up in smoke, and he's already committed to that school. So you know what? Now it's who can play that game. Now the kids can go out there and go make their own money, because these schools have been making money off of them, selling their jerseys with their likenesses in the shops, and some of the kids still can't pay for their own damn lunch. Come on, let's go ahead.
I'm with you.
And let me add this point real quick before you go. Coaches can leave for better opportunities, make more money. They can up and leave college
I'm all
kids.
for kids leaving. Yeah, I don't have a problem with this. My problem is when you make it this one, you have to understand, we're talking the minority of college football athletes that are going to get a significant deal.
Yeah.
All right? So let's start there. Number two, that does not mean it's now a level playing field for all college athletes. That will never happen. There's no such thing as a level playing field in life. Sports is the closest thing to it. But when we're talking about monetization, making money, anything like this, the field is not fair.
They've been doing it for years. Now
I know.
Shit's legal.
I want them to. Don't get me wrong, Corey. I think they absolutely should be making money. I don't think the NIL is a perfect system. I'm not sure what a perfect system looks like. But when you tell me that we're bidding on 18-year-olds, 17-year-olds coming out of high school who are going to make I'm not sure that's the best way to go about it.
But we also can't sit and act like colleges weren't already paying kids under the table beforehand. Like,
Of course.
not across college
but
football.
again, we're talking about the minority. We're talking about the Reggie Bushes.
So here's the thing. If you're good, you're gonna make it to the league anyway. So let's just put that out there. If you're good, regardless of what school you go to, you're gonna make it to the league. But for right now, for those guys who are possibly not gonna make it, could possibly be a bust, they're just doing a cash advance.
I like that cash
it's
advance.
A cash advance.
Yep.
Why not go ahead and get that buck? I mean, come on. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but these schools are making money off of them any damn way.
Yeah, I don't
Let
think
these kids go out there and go. They've already been. Let's not act like all of us suddenly we're thinking about the best interests of the kids.
Yeah.
Some of these kids have been steered to other schools for decades, and it wasn't in their best interest.
It ruined their
wasn't the
careers.
best. Yeah. Exactly. So right now, why not let guys like Caleb Williams go, you know what? Highest bidder, what's up? I'm coming to you. At least he's in front of the situation. He's going ahead and choosing his own destiny.
What I see, and whether people want to accept it or not, is at 18 years old, it's extremely difficult to make a 3 to 5 year decision. You're not even capable of figuring out what you're going to wear for school tomorrow. And when we put that kind of I want a better system in place. I'm not against.
Yeah.
I want if you are promised by a coach that you're going to be in a starting X whatever position it is by year 2 and you're not, get the hell out. Go play somewhere. If you want to make it to the NFL, you need to play. You need to film. Go play. Go transfer. Go make money. Be my guest. But the way we're setting this up right now, there's no clear system. It's a free for all. It's a frenzy.
I love it.
And I mean, we may love it as media because we get to talk about it all the time. But I'm talking from just the lowest level, micro at the kid level. What makes that kid qualified, or his parents, to make that kind of decision that could hinder or prosper his future? You can take the $1 million now. That might have cost you $13 million in the future.
They've already been doing it, though.
Or you could be like Joy Bell, D2 athlete. You can take the $6,000 over a given year, so an extra $500 a month from the oil change shop down the street. Cool. No problem with that. But is that what we're talking about at the highest level? No. So when we talk about Caleb Williams, even who was the kid out of
Dylan Gabriel?
The other quarterback out of Oklahoma.
Oh.
The annoying one. Spencer Rattler.
Oh, well, yeah. He's in SC
When we're talking about the highest level of recruiting players, yes, of course it's a floodgate. Open field. Have at it.
Mm-hmm.
These are guys that are likely going to the NFL or going to the top echelon of programs. But what about the middle? The middle and the bottom, like we forget so easily about. And what the scholarship system was, it was like basically a $40,000 annual salary to go to college. So they would pay for your college. But now they need to enhance that, in my opinion. The scholarship can no longer be just a scholarship to the university. It needs to be a monthly salary, expenses, food, etc., etc. They need to expand on it if they want to at least save some aspect of college football in terms of being a total free agency frenzy. Like, again, is everyone going to get that mega deal? No.
But they're going to get paid.
So why don't we...
It's just interesting that it's now a problem that the players have a lot more control over.
No, it's not. The players having control is what's balancing all this.
See,
I don't have a problem with that.
Because the premise is tough because I get like the top...
Yeah, where I'm going with this is I don't think this is a good system right now. It's not working.
Well, it's... I mean,
it's still in its infant stages.
Yeah,
I know, but
it can be corrected. But
I hope it works out. Look, all I'm saying is when you're that when you're at that age... Honestly, what the hell were you doing at 18 years old trying to make that kind of decision? I'm asking.
But
people
also,
been making those decisions for them already.
Yeah.
Now they're just getting a chance to be able to make their own decisions.
Well, now you're
and you got to. I mean, yeah. Go on.
So now Nick Saban walks into your room, and he tells you, "All right, Corey, we're going to offer you $200,000 a year in salary, along with a full-time starting role at D tackle."
Mm-hmm.
All right, Coach. Thanks. Brian Kelly walks in. We'll give you $1.5 million. Your first year, you're going to sit. Second year, you'll compete for the job.
I'm here with my family.
And that's kind of where I'm at. Is as a kid, the 1.5 sounds a hell of a lot better. But if I'm the kid that believes in myself that can go to the NFL, well, damn it, the Saban offer makes more sense to me. But again, we're pushing kids towards financial, which is fine. They deserve it. They're the ones making college football all this money. But where's the protection for them? There isn't any right now. And I don't know who's supposed to do it. Is it the agents, the parents, The kids themselves, good luck. They're 18. That's tough. Maybe 1 out of every 15, 20, 18-year-olds can actually think things through like that. And that's where my problem is.
I think that has always been an issue, though.
Yeah.
Just that whole scenario, I don't think that's a problem that's just created now with NIL. I think that's always been an issue. The
NCAA never had
it's
a plan
never been
or any protection scheme for these
fair person
kids.
to be there to mentor the kids. There's always been somebody in their back pocket. So I don't think that's a new problem.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Look, at the end of the day, they took one step really towards fixing a clear problem, which was the NCAA profiting off of kids and them not being able to make any money. So we're now there. Now, when are we going to acknowledge the last 30, 40 years? College football as the main sport, but let's just say the NCAA in general has not protected these kids at all. The interest has never been in the kids, right?
Never.
And I think you got to get closer to that, though. Because for the sake of your game and for the sake of your education system, you don't want it being a full frenzy. Have a little bit of control. You know what the NFL does when you get drafted? They have financial tutoring classes. They make you walk through what you should and shouldn't do. They have people come in and tell their stories.
You know what?
NCAA should be doing this.
Actually, you know what? So, interesting you bring that up. A couple of weeks ago, Michael Vick was in town, and he's a part of this Bad Credit is Childish. It's a new academy. It's Ypsilanti based.
Yep.
He's now one of the ambassadors for it. He was talking about when athletes are coming into the league, they have no idea what to do with the money.
And how old are they?
They're like 21.
Exactly.
He said he got a $3 million check, and him and his family had already pre-planned on how they were going to spend it. By the time he got the check, it was like 1.7. He's like, hey, what's going on?
Didn't know taxes.
He didn't know about taxes.
Yeah.
None of these athletes come in blind about that. That stuff should be taught. So
Imagine at 18.
So I will say this: as far as the tweaking with the NIL,
I just want more protection for kids. That's all I'm asking for.
I think there should at least have been a financial literacy component required. Like you're required to take this financial literacy class before you're allowed to assign an NIL deal.
Yes.
That would be
that's
the
ideal.
And you have to set up an
protection.
account at X Bank. They can do a partnership. I don't care what the hell it looks like, where you have a financial manager, somebody to help you plan out what.
The financial manager, I don't know, but I'd at least say they take the class. You know, whatever
University pays for it.
Whatever, university pays for it.
Where I'm going with this is I want these kids to be
money,
as educated as much as possible. I'm not saying they can't have their money, but look, at that age, what kind of decisions are you going to be making? Michael Vick at 22, 23. Guys, 60% of the players that start and ever play a game in the NFL are bankrupt by the time they leave the league.
He said he said about 70% of them have bad credit.
How? So that's, again, I'm not.
But this has always been an issue. So,
I know,
right.
So
but now
it's
a legal issue. Does that make sense? I'm not like disregarding what was happening in the past.
Yeah, now
but
it's
if we're
issue.
going to open up NIL, can we at least be responsible enough to say, you know what, we did make a mistake over the last 30 years?
That's the part.
Can we educate everybody
first,
in the room?
That's the part. Acknowledge first that it's always been a problem.
Yes.
Now that we've opened the floodgates, now we're going to make sure that you're protected. Let's not say that just because they got the NIL deals.
I'm not thinking at the level where, the quarterback at the school has a $1.2 million deal and he's driving a Benz to school. I don't care about that. What I care about is what are you doing as, again, an organization, the NCAA? What are you doing to protect these kids? Are you actually looking out for their best interests? They haven't been, and they honestly still aren't. When are you going to? Financial literacy classes, emotional classes, because you know what happens when you get money, guys? Family comes around. Hey, Corey. Hey, buddy. How you doing? How's everything been? Nobody prepares you for stuff like this in life. It happens more than you know. And there's nothing more difficult than telling your mom, your dad, your cousin, your brother, your sister, your grandpa, your grandma, no. When you feel like you've made it.
Yeah.
Because when you feel like you've made it, you want to give back. 18 years old, not the time to give back.
Well, Blake Corum gave back with his NIL money.
That's different.
I know
That's to a charity. That's
but
not
still,
throwing away all your NIL money.
Let me address this. I want to talk about this because I'm trying to get this conversation in. Joey brought up a great point. And this is something I want to bring up. You talk about guys that are 22 years old entering the NFL, not knowing what to do with money. Now these kids are coming with money earlier. And although, to your point, they're younger, wouldn't that sort of weave out irresponsible guys if you already have money? Let's say you get a bunch of money in college. You spend a lot of it. You could still make the NFL. And that point, you would know, now I'm coming into more money. I can correct my mistakes. A lot of these kids are broke until the draft. So you're walking into not only the NFL, a whole new organization, but you're only walking into millions of dollars. So to that point, I could see where you're coming from. They're younger. It can be, detrimental, but I see it as almost a benefit because they're coming into money.
It's detrimental in the majority. I'm not talking at the micro. So micro, you're totally right about Blake Corum. I'm talking at a macro scale. Well, there is a financial literacy issue, not just in college football, in the goddamn country. You don't know what the hell taxes are even until you're 24, 25 sometimes, even if you go to a 4-year education in college.
Yeah,
you're not taught all of this.
That's a sin of the education system.
Yeah, that's your parents. I mean, that's education. That's your
what
parents.
The hell is the NCAA? That's your education system. Figure it out. Get better. NIL's here? Great. Acknowledge what's happened and get better. And please teach these kids something. The one thing I hated about school is I never felt like I was learning anything. Never too late to change it, guys. Financial literacy courses sounds really good right now. It would be extremely beneficial. And I'm not talking the one where they say supply and demand. No, not that stupid class. No. Like real stuff. Here's your tax bracket. Here's what you pay. Here's how you can avoid taxes.
So
here's how you save your money.
Are you proposing something like how when the NFL has their rookie symposium, what an NIL symposium for the college athletes who sign something?
Absolutely. Any athlete, any college student athlete that signs an NIL deal is required to take a 6 to 8 week course on financial literacy. And they attend whatever they call them, mandatory meetings where speakers are there. They speak from their past, their experience with money under the table, because now it's just legal. But the point is, you have to be very careful. And I'm just asking for a little more education. I'm not asking for much. Pay them all you want. I don't care. Good for the kids. But you want to protect them a little bit? It's kind of your job. Their job isn't to think about the future. Their job is to think about now. NCAA, your job is to think about the future.
I'm with it. I just think that everybody should admit their wrongs if they're going to go that route. Because, I mean, they've had their hand in the pockets for a long time.
Yeah.
All right, I'm okay with that. We do got to go to break. Top of the hour when we get back. Lions, Packers this weekend. We have around the NFL coming up, too. So much to talk about. Raiders, Chargers. Playoff spot on the line. Should they tie? I can't believe this is even a conversation. You losers. And your loser mentality. That's why you suck. Because you think it's actually okay to tie in life. No, it's not. Unbelievable. They should be banned from the NFL. We got to go to break. But before we go, Jeff, could you tell us all about your good friends at Lady Jane's?
Yeah, Lady Jane's. Guys, we're a simple bunch. We understand this. And we like Sunday football. And we like the feel of a TV remote in the palm of our hand. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's haircuts for men. Come into Lady Jane's, walk in, sit down, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Lady Jane's open 10 to 8, 7 days a week, convenient anytime, and you walk in because it is wicked awesome.
Hi, I'm Kay Cunningham. I'm proud to partner with Hall Financial, the mortgage company known for 5-star service. Don't just take my word for it. Check out their 5,000 5-star reviews for yourself. Go to callhallfirst.com and get started with your 5-star experience today.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
What's the over-under? Should I tease? Who is the lock of the night? Make sure you're watching Woodward Bets to get the latest in sports betting and more. Woodward Bets daily on Woodward Sports.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us here on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Also featured on The Roar on 99.1, 93.5, and 94.7 HD2. Guys, the Pistons got another whooping last night, 118-88. Brutal.
It wasn't that bad. I'm used to seeing them lose by 40-50. We're good.
We're good here.
Improvement.
I don't know what you saw.
88 points. Jesus Christ.
I don't know
man.
what you saw.
Sometimes it's so hard to watch that team, even with Cade Cunningham. Jeff, what the hell, man? Accept the rebuild, I guess.
No, yeah, it is. It's accepting the rebuild, but it's a hard pill to swallow because you're accepting the rebuild, but like last year, and we keep saying this, last year, you don't see blowouts like this. Back-to-back nights, games, you lose bad to the Hornets. The Hornets shot a franchise record, whatever amount of three-pointers they made, franchise record in Hornets. And now you face the Grizzlies and you lose by almost 40. I don't know. And you could say inconsistent. That's what this team is, very inconsistent. Sadiq Bey, another poor shooting night. Killian Hayes, poor shooting night. The whole starting lineup, poor shooting night. The bench couldn't shoot to save their life.
So you're telling me they had a bad night at the office?
They almost have a bad day at the office pretty much game to game, except for the Milwaukee game. They played a great game earlier in the week. But it's been a lot of bad days at the office for this team, and
Sadiq Bey reminded me of the Sadiq Bey we saw all year.
Yeah.
And that's scary. I don't like that.
I don't know. And listen, I want to try and defend Dwayne Casey, but you have to get more out of these guys, man. Like, they're playing terrible basketball on both sides of the ball. I can see if, you were losing 88-95. You lost by almost 40. You need to fix something in this team.
What was our complaint about Cade Cunningham early on in the year when he was having
taking
30,
too many
40
threes?
Thank you.
Taking
and last night,
damn
2 of 10. Why are you attempting more than half of your shots from beyond the arc? You're not Steph Curry. Self-awareness, guys. And that's what I see with this team, a lack of self-awareness. You come out in the first quarter, you only put up 18 points. Game's already over. You're down by 14.
They were down by the same amount yesterday against the Hornets.
Unbelievable.
You can't play like
They're
this.
starting off real slow in all their games, and it's just really killing them.
And
Not like that's the only thing.
I think what's hurting them most, they don't have shooting. I can go through the list on this team. You could write a Excel spreadsheet, probably, of all problems this team has. The number one and big thing, they have no veterans on this team. This team is entirely 25 and under, and it's you could see it the way they play. They don't play good basketball, and that's really the easy way to say it. And Jeremy Grant, I'm not going to say you need Jeremy Grant back. I think him leaving was beneficial for Sadiq Bey, but you're missing guys like Kelly Olynyk, just veterans, man. You're missing that. And although if they were back, you probably still lose the game, but you don't have shooting, you don't have veterans, you don't have size, and you don't have playmakers besides Cade or Killian. And Killian didn't play well last night, and he's your starting point guard. He can't shoot. So, wow. It's going to be a long season, but like the Lions, Adam, and we'd like to talk about this, it's going to be one of those years where you start talking about the draft about 60 games in, and you're already
but
you're
the
already
NBA is different, man. You don't build through the draft. It rarely ever happens. You don't get a Golden State every 5 years where they select Steph, Clay in the first round, Draymond in the second round.
No, it's a mix of both.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, you need free agency, you need the draft.
You need to hit a few home runs in free agency or trades.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully you hit a home run with the Jeremy Grant trade. But no, look, Matt, I get your point about Cade not being a superstar. Well, one, he's not.
It's his rookie year.
But I think the point, especially a lot of Pistons fans, that they're at least the point I believe that they are trying to make, Matt, is that Cade has star ceiling. I think you've seen it on multiple occasions this year.
Yep.
So if I told you going into his rookie year that he showed a consistent amount of flashes, where you were like, that looks like a star in this league, you would be happy. That's what you want from your number one overall pick. So I have no problem with that. But I do have a problem with how backwards this team has gone, how much they've regressed. They're not playing fundamental team basketball. And maybe they overcommitted on the amount of young kids they have. And it's hurting them. It's hurting them really bad. And it's tough to watch. It really is.
What are your thoughts on Dwayne? We gotta get this out, air it out. I think it's too early to fire him, but come on, dude. Like, how many more passes can we give Dwayne? And I love Dwayne as a head coach, but like, I can't sit here and say, well, when there's talent, they'll be a great team. You see teams all around in the NBA losing guys to COVID, having multiple guys out, and still winning games. Like, it's coaching's big. The Memphis Grizzlies, they went 10-2 without Ja Morant.
I just don't see a coach.
Without Ja Morant.
Well, my problem is I just don't see a coach walking in.
Not winning this year, but.
And winning anything next year either. So with Casey,
but
as long as player development is not detrimental, I don't mind him sticking around. So I'm not going to call for his head anytime soon. But I like DJ Play Busy's comment. Coach Casey needs to let Cade take more control. It's like he holds him back. He needs to be the facilitator.
And that's Casey's system. Like it's kind of, and I don't like it.
That's the Atlanta Hawks system. That's the Dallas Mavericks system. It's not complicated. Give the best player on your team the ball.
No, but Casey, that's the opposite. Like in Toronto, Casey, it's ball movement. It's boring to watch. Like to your point, look at the Mavericks. Look at all these teams. If you have your best player is also your best playmaker, give him the damn ball. And I agree with whatever he's saying. I mean, that makes perfect sense.
Do you think you're going to make a playoff run with Killian Hayes, Saddiq Bey, and Cade Cunningham on the court? Honest question, Detroit. Do you think that's a possibility? If it's no, trade one of them.
Yep.
And we all know who we're going to trade.
Mm-hmm.
Stop lying to yourselves and stop making things prolonged longer than they need to be. If you're not sold or there's a better option in the long term or whatever it may be, make the move. But right now the team doesn't look good. Toronto is not... Dwayne Casey in Toronto is not the Dwayne Casey here in Detroit. Toronto had an abundance of good basketball players. And they played in a very weak Eastern Conference. The East is much better than it was when Casey was with the Raptors. I'll tell you that. The Raptors' kryptonite, LeBron James. Yeah, that's kind of everyone's. But the point,
can't fault
outside of Golden State. So, yeah. You're in a much more difficult conference where the Bulls are good.
Yeah, the East is different.
The East is different than what it was 4, 5, 6 years ago.
Yeah.
So I do have a problem with Dwayne Casey right now. Am I going to call for his head, Jeff? I'm not ready to do that.
No, but the regression is what we talk about.
Regression is concerning.
That is concerning.
It's extremely concerning, and honestly, if I have to make a tough decision by the end of the year, Casey and Killian Hayes aren't going to like it. There's nobody safe on this kind of team. Nope. You can't be this bad. This is really bad. I don't even recall the 76ers ever fielding that bad of a team, considering they had like a piece around it. Now, when they were in full tank mode, that's different.
Yeah.
But you're talking, you had the number 1 overall pick. You have Saddiq Bey, who everyone considered one of the steals of the draft at 14. And you're regressing year 2?
Multiple first-round picks.
I don't like it, man. I don't like it. We got to go to break, Maddie. That is frustrating. Regression, never a good look.
No, it's not.
But I don't think... I don't have a problem giving Casey next year.
Yeah. And he's extended, obviously. I think that's Troy Weaver's thing. But, hey... We're going to get on Dan Campbell's ass if they regress, and we're going to get on Dwayne Casey's ass if they regress. It is how it is. You got to improve, especially in a rebuild. You have to.
Well, guys, when we come back, we are talking around the NFL. We'll preview all the games, give you our predictions. But first, we have Gypsy Vodka.
All right, guys, Gypsy Vodka, the smoothest tasting vodka on the market at the moment. Please support our local family, Mike and Adam, founders of Gypsy Vodka, made in Petoskey, Michigan. Ask for it by the name of Gypsy at your local convenience store, liquor store, wherever you may be. Again, ask for it by the name of Gypsy, and as always, don't be like Sawyer. Drink responsibly.
Everything that we've hoped for, finally.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Brandon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
It's all happening now.
Putting on a show here, and that's how you answer. We love our sports. We just wish they'd love us back. Detroit sports for Detroit sports fans. Woodward Sports.
Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Make sure you're following us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and Twitch. Download our sports app on Apple and Google Play and listen to our listen to our podcasts wherever you listen, whether it's Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, or Amazon Music. Plenty of games to play this weekend.
Yep.
What are our predictions? We'll start with Colts versus the Jaguars.
So the Colts have not won in 7 years in Jacksonville. Now, I am a big Colts fan, as is Sawyer in the booth.
I love it, man.
Love the Colts, love their team, love what they're about. I think they're definitely a dark horse team that you don't want to play in the playoffs. Having said that, I hope to God they win, so I don't have to hear the talk of, oh, well, the Chargers and the Raiders should tie, and then they both make the playoffs. You idiots. Loser mentality. Soft. Don't like it.
Can I ask why any of the teams, especially when they're in the same division, would even want to do that? Like, why? Like, it's like you and Jeff in fantasy football, right? Why would you guys want to purposely tie to both hold the trophy?
No, you want to knock the other guy off.
Yeah, you want to knock them out.
The trophy fish. It's they both tie, they theoretically both make the playoffs if the Colts lose.
Correct.
But the Colts aren't losing, guys.
No. But why would you want to tie?
Colts
My
aren't
question.
losing. Jonathan Taylor,
especially when
running
they're in the same
263.
division.
No one's
calling
doing
it now. Maybe I'm a bit crazy. Jonathan Taylor going off tonight, or excuse me, Sunday. I'm so excited for it.
Yes.
Give me the Colts. They beat down the Jaguars. Darrell Bevell shows why he's the worst offensive coordinator and the head coach in the NFL. I hated him in Detroit. I'm glad they have him in Jacksonville. They can suffer now too.
Yep. And you brought up the point. They haven't won in Jacksonville in, 7 years?
Yep, this is the year.
But guess what? This is a different Jags team this year. A bad one. One of the worst ones I've witnessed in the last 7 years. So I got the Colts winning. I got Jonathan Taylor. They haven't faced a guy like this season. What does he need? 200 yards to get to 2,000. And he's not going to get that, I don't think. Don't rule it out, but he's going to have a monster game. I have faith in the Colts, man. They're going to get the job done. There's too much on the line, especially for them in the season they're having. Listen, I would love the Lions slid into that number 1 overall pick, but again, the conversation
they can't, can they?
If they lose and the Jags win, we get the number 1 overall pick.
That's not true. We have a tie.
They'll have more wins, won't they?
Ah, that's right. They would have 3 wins, wouldn't they?
Don't make me read.
Yeah, because we have 1 tie and 0 ties.
No, you're good. So but again, I could care less. The Colts are going to win. So I'm not going to be a biased Lions fan and say the Jaguars will win. No, hell no. They can't stop Jonathan Taylor. That defense. They haven't shown all year they can play well. So
there's a bunch of Lions fans cheering on the Jaguars this weekend because they want to see the Lions get number 1 pick.
I don't want to hear what Adam just brought up, the conversation about the tie. I don't want to have that conversation.
Yeah, but they don't care. They're all
Colts do us all a favor.
Just
Super Bowl, that's
please,
what they want.
Indianapolis, do us all a favor. Beat down the Jaguars.
Please.
Nobody cares. Nobody wants the number 1 overall pick. We're good. We'll pass. Make the playoffs. Do not make me talk about the Raiders and Chargers game. For God's sake.
Please no.
On to the next game. What do we got? What's on the slate?
Steelers-Ravens.
Ooh, Steelers-Ravens.
Is Lamar back?
Lamar, maybe.
Maybe
Might
have
back.
Snoop.
I haven't heard any news about Lamar.
No,
but
I haven't either.
Ben's final game potentially with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Thank God. So excited about this. I've been waiting for him to retire for 3 years.
So is Pittsburgh.
Sayonara. Enjoy the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Definitely deserves it. Top 12 quarterback of all time. Such a unique beast for his time. Came out, big dude, monster truck of a quarterback, had the arm, could move.
Yep.
Different for his kind. Ben, congratulations on an excellent career, 2-time Super Bowl champion. Wish you nothing but the best. Enjoy your retirement. Sayonara. The Ravens win.
Yep, I got the Ravens winning.
I got the Ravens winning. They're not going to end the game on a 3-game losing streak. I don't see it happening. Pittsburgh, you had your moment against Cleveland. Ravens going to bring you back down to reality. Give me the Ravens in this game.
Yeah, give me the Ravens. And the sad part is Mike Tomlin will have his first season not having a winning season.
No, that's not true. He already clinched it.
Yeah, they already clinched
They're
it.
8-7-1.
Yeah, if they lose, they'll be 8-8.
Yeah,
that's not a losing season.
Yeah, that's still a winning season.
A winning season.
It's technically a winning season because he's above 500 because the tie.
Okay, all right. So technically,
this is such a Lions moment right now.
He slipped away.
It's not a losing.
All right.
But that's in 15 years of not having a losing record.
It's
the Lions can't go one season without having a losing record.
No, it's
amazing.
And people act like it would be a catastrophe if he loses this game. No, I got the Ravens winning. They've been good at home, and I think Tyler Huntley is no slouch. He's a great quarterback. He didn't have a great game against the Rams.
He's the perfect backup for that system.
Perfect backup. So I got Pittsburgh winning. I agree with you. Or right. Ravens, excuse me.
Saints Falcons.
Ooh.
Kyle Pitts over 1,000 yards already on the year. First tight end to do in 6 years since the Bears.
Yep.
Mike Ditka.
The Bears.
The Bears.
The losers. They suck. They suck. Falcons. Saints need to win this game in order to keep their playoff hopes alive. Mm-hmm. Now, what does that mean, Adam? Well, I'll tell you what it means. The Saints need to win and the Niners need to lose on the road against the Los Angeles Rams in order for the Saints to secure the final playoff spot in the NFC. Now, if the Niners win, they clinch the final playoff spot, no questions asked. If the Falcons lose, the the Falcons win, the Niners also clinch no matter the result in Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. So, the Saints with Ian Book, good luck. Good luck. The Saints are going to need a lot of help. They're going to need a hell of a coaching job by Sean Payton to get past this team. I like Atlanta this game. Give me Atlanta. I think they spoil.
Go Saints!
Nobody likes the Saints here, Fish.
Ian Book.
F Notre Dame. Give me the Falcons all day, Jeff.
Yeah, give me the Falcons too. Ian Book, listen, Notre Dame quarterbacks, we can get in that conversation of them losing games, but more importantly, I think the Falcons, listen, they're 7-9. They're a good football team. Kyle Pitts, beast. And you got to watch him this year. It's been a treat. So I have the Falcons winning. They're at home. I think Sean Payton, to your point, you nailed it. He has to have a coaching clinic tonight. And Alvin Kamara is going to have to go off to win this game. So give me the Falcons. It's going to be a low-scoring game, but I think they'll squeeze it out.
All right, I like it. I don't mind it. The next game on the slate, Patriots-Dolphins. Dolphins 8-8.
Yeah.
Have won
Hey,
7.
they played a hell of a season, though.
Yeah, no, they didn't. They were 1-7 at one point.
Oh, okay, but to win 7 in a row is
extremely
impressive.
up and down season. As much as I like Brian Flores,
But to win
that
7
can never
in a
happen
row,
again.
to win 7 in a row is very impressive.
It's all of their games were against below 400
I don't
teams.
care. You still have
outside
to
of the
win. You
Ravens.
still have to win.
I understand, but I'm putting it into context, Fish.
Okay.
They're 8-8. They're going to lose to the Patriots. Patriots will finish 11-6 on the year. Give me the Patriots. I think they run all over the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Tua struggles, and the Miami Dolphins go into the offseason thinking, well, if that's Tua's best season, we're in deep, you know what?
Yeah.
Should we go for Deshaun Watson? Are we going to go for a quarterback in this draft? Do we wait? Do we trade him? Who knows? Miami's in a tough position. They really are. I still think they're so many pieces away from being even a good team. The fact that Brian Flores has them winning 10 games last year and potentially 8 or 9 this year, he's doing a hell of a job in Miami.
Yeah, and this matchup's interesting to me because I like to call it big brother, little brother. You got Brian Flores, former New England assistant, and they kind of like to run things over in Miami similarly. I mean, they have a game manager quarterback. They like to run the ball, and they have a couple playmakers on the outside, but they rely heavily on their defense. And Tua, now Mac Jones, having a great year, great rookie year. Although you make the case he's better than Tua. These two teams are very comparable. I got the New England Patriots winning, though. I don't see Tua throwing for over 300 yards on that defense. I mean, listen, I like Tua, but at the end of the day, the New England Patriots have a lot on the line right now. They're trying to go 11-6. They want to make a run in the playoffs. So give me the New England Patriots. I think Tua throws multiple interceptions, but listen, give credit to the Dolphins, I guess, for winning 7 straight, like Fish said, but they got to bounce back, man.
Fish's favorite game of the weekend. Here we go. Drum roll, please. Raiders-Chargers. The battle of the teams that I swear to God, if they go for a tie, they should be kicked out of the NFL.
They
and
won't
the owner
go
should
for
have to
a
be
tie. Everyone's being dramatic.
You know what's not dramatic? People on national media actually encouraging, and in our own local market.
They're doing it because it would be a crazy narrative and a crazy game to see a Neil Fest. It would be like a 1 hour game. It would actually be 60 minutes of football.
I don't mind people going for different angles on things and taking a different approach. A gentleman's agreement to tie.
Wouldn't you kind of
not
be?
a headline.
It's ridiculous.
It's not a narrative. It's a bunch of BS.
I'll tell you this: you'll get more people watching just to see how it goes.
No, the hell you won't.
I think you will. I think you will.
It would be so bad and detrimental to the game long term. I would immediately revoke both of those teams from the playoffs if they did that. If I was a commissioner,
I think people would be intrigued.
You want to get in the playoffs? Win your football game. You're not tying and agreeing to tie just so you both get in. And that would never happen.
I don't think they would do that.
That would never happen. So I'm not even going to consider it. I've got the Chargers winning. Derek Carr's done a hell of a job with this team all year. We want to talk about giving MVP votes to somebody. Aaron Rodgers, Joe Burrow, Cooper Kupp, Jonathan Taylor. You got to mention Derek Carr. Coach fired midway into the year, and they're still winning football games.
With Hunter Renfrow.
With Hunter Renfrow as their number one. And no offensive line. And no legitimate run game. Derek Carr is having a hell of a season.
Yeah, he is.
I'm not saying he's elite, but damn it, he's a good quarterback. Raiders have a good quarterback. Stop saying he's bad, he's garbage, he's not this, he's not that. He's a damn good quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Get over it. But I got the Chargers. They're going to take care of it. Keenan Allen back, Austin Eckler back. Gives me all the confidence in the world. Los Angeles Chargers clinch their playoff spot. They beat the Raiders this week.
And I agree with you. And we've been high on the Chargers all year. Obviously, the Raiders, I was notoriously called them frauds. And although they are frauds, I like Derek Carr. I really do. And needs more respect in that MVP conversation. But the Chargers, to me, better team, complete team. They have Joey Bosa back, and that's the big news. They have Austin Eckler returning. So give me the Los Angeles Chargers in Las Vegas. I'll take them winning. I don't know the score, but screw a tie. Knock the guy off. Knock the Las Vegas Raiders off, and I believe they'll do so. So If we're gonna, are we getting into this Cowboys Eagles game? Because that's my upset of the weekend, Adam. I think the Eagles win. I think they beat the Cowboys, and I'll tell you why. Cowboys will be without multiple players, no Micah Parsons, no Anthony Brown, one of their cornerbacks. They're lacking depth, especially on the defense because of the COVID stuff. I mean, it happens to all teams. But the Eagles at home, they're very good at home, respectable defense. And I think this is a big statement win. It'll drop the Cowboys to 11-6. They'll still make the playoffs. But the Eagles are having such a great season, 9-7 at home. And now we're getting into the territory of, is the game meaningless? And no game's meaningless. But the Cowboys already secured their playoff spot. And I think the Eagles are going to get a win this weekend. Give me the Eagles.
I will take the Eagles with you just out of my disdain for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yep.
No, Micah Parsons is
America's team.
It's extremely concerning to me.
America's team.
They're not America's team. They're not.
They're Dallas's team.
They're just.
That's what it is.
Look, I love the state of Texas. I think it's amazing, especially given the time we live in right now. God bless everybody in Texas.
Can
What's
I
up,
bring
Mitch?
something up? Speaking of Texas,
Sure.
You want to keep finishing your statement?
No, go ahead.
There's like a sliver of a chance that they'll host the Super Bowl.
I hope so.
Sliver of a chance that they'll host
I
the
hope
Super
so.
Bowl.
No sliver, Fish. It'll be in L.A.
I mean, there's reports saying that they could put it to Dallas, so I mean, all options are open basically.
Well, you know what I love about the NFL? They think of everything. They really do. Even SoFi Stadium in LA, the new stadium where the Chargers and the Rams are both the home team there. You know what's the best part about that? Even if both teams, let's say, clinched the first round bye, they would play on different days anyway, Saturday, Sunday. Because the NFL has Saturday, Sunday playoff games.
Yep.
Why? Because they think of everything. And if they move it to
They do.
Texas, no one will be happier than me. Love it. We got to go to break. But before we go, I got to tell you about the carpet guys. Fish's favorite jingle. I've caught him multiple times in the bathroom singing it out loud. So, to everybody at home, if you're thinking of new flooring, all month long, the carpet guys are going to give you up to 60% off select flooring options. Carpet, hardwood, vinyl, and laminate. They have it all. For the best installation and a lifetime warranty, there's only one place to call. Be wise. Call the carpet guys at 855-4MY-GUYS. That's 855-4MY-GUYS. You guys know the jingle. We can start singing it along together. It's 855
For my guys.
Absolutely. Thank you, Fish. Home run. Nailed it out of the park.
I wanted you to say
I'm
it,
not singing
though.
it with you. I'm not singing it with you. I sang it enough in my career. I am a retired singer. Having said that, again,
Were you
855 for my
professional?
guys. Carpet guys, look, guys, locally owned, family operated, good people. There's no better flooring company to work with. I've dealt with them in my own home. They're so. Well, I dealt with a gentleman, so it's easy for me to. They're true gentlemen, really, honestly, like unbelievable. They came in, they helped move my furniture around. They didn't cause me any problems. Installed my laminate flooring. Never had any issues. 5-star review from me.
5 stars.
Salesman was so. Fish, shut up. Having said that, call the carpet guys for all your flooring needs. We'll see you guys after the break.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
Opinions are like ear holes, and we're putting ours in yours.
Well, that's not winning, joint.
It's Woodward Sports.
Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in here on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Guys, there's one more game we didn't talk about just yet. The Rams 49ers. Will Stafford deliver?
Will Stafford deliver? Well, if you're a Lions fan that has PTSD, I think the easy answer is no. And that is most of you. Now, if you're in a position like I am, where you can separate the two things, but still take into account the career performances in big games where he has not shown up, and you consider the recent history of the Niners and their ability to own the Los Angeles Rams, I think this is a must-have for the Rams. They have to win this game. Excuse me. Stafford has to prove that he can deliver for this football team. Now, he's done it multiple times this year. You've seen it against the Bucs, the Ravens, etc., etc. You've seen it happen before, but you've seen the Titans. You've seen the Vikings. You've seen enough bad. You've seen the Packers. Even though he was okay in it, he wasn't great. I think this is a must-have for the Los Angeles Rams and Matthew Stafford. He's got to step up and deliver. Look, there would be nothing better for this football team than to clinch a home game, win their division in the first year with the guy they traded 2 first-round picks for. So yes, I expect Stafford to deliver. The 49ers are playing for their lives, though. They're playing for their playoff hopes and dreams. So yeah, I think Stafford delivers. He's delivered all season for this team. Yes, he's thrown an abundance of interceptions. I do not like it either. But this is a must-have. And I think they get it. Jeff?
No, I agree with you. I think they get it. And we've seen the worst of Matthew Stafford. I think that's the main point to hammer home. That, listen, we've seen he leads the league in pick sixes. That's a given. He hasn't played great games at times, but they found a way to win. And this week, Jimmy G, the rumor is he's starting. Jimmy G is not healthy. The 49ers already beat the brakes off the Rams. They're going to be more than motivated. And more than that, they're great at home. They're better at home than they are on the road. They're 5-2 at home. I think they get the job done. And I think you making the point about former Lions fans, or Lions fans talking about their former quarterback, and already writing him off. You can see that. In Detroit, didn't win a lot of big games, but with the Los Angeles Rams, it's a different times. I mean, the guy's a more complete team. Even if he doesn't have a great game, they can still find a way to win. Give me the Rams, I'll say by at least a score. I think it'll be relatively close. The 49ers always find a way to make it close, but I got faith in Stafford. Give me the Rams getting the job done, and all the people that think, listen, Stafford's going to choke in the playoffs, whatever. I mean, it's kind of ignorant in a way, because you're basing his projection off what he was in Detroit. And if you look at the Rams team this year, I still have them. They'll win a playoff game. I don't know if they'll make the Super Bowl, but they're still a damn good football team, and they have a respectable defense and
that's
weapons
if
still.
Jimmy Garoppolo might not play. And with that defensive front against a rookie quarterback,
good luck.
That's going to be difficult for the Niners.
Yeah.
If Garoppolo does play, well, he just had thumb surgery. He's already struggling it during the week. He's struggling with it. Will it translate on the field? Who knows? But look, even if the Niners are completely healthy and ready, head-to-head, I'm going to take the Rams here. I like the quarterback more. I like the defense more.
Yeah.
I like the wide receivers and the offense more.
I don't think they sweep the
I
Rams.
don't think they're going to get pummeled like they did early on this year in San Francisco. And again, the division's on the line.
Narrative.
They know exactly what's going on here. Narrative does matter.
Mm-hmm.
The narrative absolutely matters. And if they lose, all hell will break out. Not that their season is a disaster, but you worked your way back, because we all thought this was the Cardinals' division.
To lose, yeah,
they were 10-2.
Definitely.
There was no chance the Rams were going to win the division. Everybody had wild card expectations in terms of being on the road to start the playoffs. And here they are with an opportunity to win the division, for their quarterback to win his first division ever, to clinch a home playoff game for the first time ever. You don't want to do what you did against the 11-4 Packers in 2014. You don't want to go into the game where you have to win to clinch the division and not win it. So it's a big game for Stafford. A lot of pressure on him this weekend. I'm all for it. Mm-hmm. Hopefully he thrives in it. I'm sure some of you will be rooting for it against him. No problem. I get it. But I'm rooting for the guy. I would like to see him deliver in a big game moment.
Yeah.
I think he needs it. I think the NFL needs it. Hell, the Lions need it so they can wake up and stop thinking he was the problem all those years. So yeah, I will be rooting for the Rams this weekend. I do think they win. But it's a big game. You can't throw 2-3 interceptions in this game and think you're going to win. George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, that run game, that offensive line. Not going to happen. Nick Bosa coming off the edge. That's going to be an X factor. Can you limit him? Can you protect Stafford? Can you make him comfortable early on instead of him sucking for 3 quarters and then having to drag you out in the 4th quarter? Come on, guys.
Yeah.
I got the Rams here.
I do as well. And to your point, Matthew understands the narrative already. Like, he hasn't played a good stretch of games. In the 49ers, I mean, this is the 49ers have a great defense. I mean, they're going to have Nick Bosa, Fred Warner out there. This is a time Matthew needs to kind of understand you don't need to force the ball downfield. And we understand Cooper Kupp's close to that record, so hopefully he's going to get targeted. But hopefully Matt doesn't force the ball, try and do something that is clearly not going to work. But I have faith in Matt. I think he bounces back, has a great game to finish off the season, and rolls into the playoffs with some momentum. So give me the Rams, man. We both agree there.
Yeah, look, I know the Niners' playoff hopes are on the line, but there's still like contingencies.
Yeah.
Do you really think the Saints are going to beat the Falcons given their state?
Yeah, talent comes into play. Yeah,
and even then, do you think the Cardinals are going to beat the Seahawks on the road? Do you think so? Is that a guarantee? So even if the Rams lose, they could still win the division. So many possibilities for both teams. It's a must-have for both. Absolutely, they both control their own destiny. But in this one game, I am going to ask the guy I traded 2 first-round picks for, the guy who's delivered all year for me, to deliver in the most important game of the season. And if he doesn't do that, it's going to be tough for me to buy in that they can actually make a run in the playoffs, not only this year, but in the years to come. So yes, this is a very important game for Stafford. And I don't need him to throw 350 yards and 5 touchdowns. No. I need him to go for 270, 290, 2 to 3 touchdowns, and just don't turn the ball over.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do that, that's a win. He's got to stop acting and thinking like he's in Detroit. That's a damn good football team there in LA. Stop trying to do too much. Go out and play an efficient game. Rams win 31-23. I think it's going to be a close game for a majority of it, but Rams pull away late. And pull away, I mean, it's a one-possession game, but I don't think the score will tell you the full story. I think it'll be a comfortable game for the Rams. I think they'll be out ahead most of the time, and then the Niners maybe a late push. That's my feeling for the game.
I like. I'm gonna go 31-17. I think 31 points is probably a great number for the Rams. If Trey Lance is in that starting lineup, I don't see them clearing 20 just because it's a big wake up call for him. His first start against a great defense. So we'll see who's starting, but give me the Rams either way, probably by more than one score. So we agree there.
All right, I don't have a problem with that. Maddie, Rams, Matthew Stafford, hometown, very familiar in this town.
Mm-hmm.
What do you see happening on Sunday?
I have the Rams. I have the Rams all day. I know it's a big game, but I have no doubt that Stafford's going to deliver for them. Do I see him throwing an interception? Probably. It's inevitable. It's Stafford. I'm sorry, but he'll bring it back.
I do like this comment from Kian in our chat. He or she says that Stafford and Burrow are at the top of the league in terms of interceptions. Their teams are winning the division at the moment. Kirk Cousins, Jared Goff, bottom of the NFL in terms of interceptions. Teams can't win. Interceptions, guys, are detrimental to the football team. We can all agree with that. Stafford has thrown way too many for my liking. Having said that, they are 12-4. He's doing something right. It's not like he was Jared Goff last year, being carried by the #1 ranked scoring defense. Not by the Defensive Player of the Year led Aaron Donald. No. Not the case this year. The Rams are in the mid-20s in most statistical categories on defense. They are not the same. Now, they've been playing much better the last few weeks, absolutely. But they were not, the Rams' defense was not the reason they were winning all the games all the time. Just like Stafford wasn't the reason they were losing all the games all the time. Now, Titans, ugly. But Packers, really? Are you going to blame Packers too? I just don't get it. We don't give credit when there's a win, but we focus on the losses. But there are 3 times the amount of wins that there are losses this year. 12 wins to 4 losses. And we act like he's some overrated guy who can't play. I would love to have an overrated quarterback that was 12-4, 40 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, over 4,000 yards.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Give me that overrated quarterback. I don't care what the name is. Give me that guy.
Yeah, almost a 3-to-1 touchdown interception ratio. Give me it.
Overrated.
Give me that.
Overrated. I love it. Overrated. Unbelievable. I'm sure Brett Favre is overrated. Joe Burrow's overrated. He slings it all the time. Way too many interceptions, right? His team's 11-5. They could be 13-3 if he just didn't throw that many interceptions. Stop it. Stop it. He's a good quarterback. Accept it. Better coach, better front office, better organization, better roster, better defense, better talent on both sides of the ball. Accept it. He's 12-4. Get over it. And I hope you wake up, splash some water in your face the next morning when you want to throw out the Stafford hate. I get it. Maybe look your organization in the face and say, wow, you guys, you failed to deliver us a division. You never won 12 games with us, ever. Why couldn't you build a 12-win team around Matthew Stafford all those years? They did it in the first year. And they gave up 2 first-round picks for him and the quarterback. You could never do that for us? It says more about your organization than it does about the quarterback, guys. I hope that's what you take away from this weekend.
Well, speaking of a player who's getting a lot of hate, Antonio Brown. If you didn't watch the game, I'm sure you've seen it by now. We'll talk more about that when we come back, but we'll see you guys here soon.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart, right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Go! Detroit Sports on Demand.
DeAndre Swift, he's going to take it all the way for the touchdown. Open in the corner, he triple.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app today. Take us with you everywhere you go. Search Woodward Sports Network or WSN Live.
Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in here on the Morning Woodward Show here on the the Woodward Sports Network. Wow, my words are terrible
It's
today.
okay. It's such a tongue twister. I've done it so many times before.
My words are terrible
Totally
today.
acceptable.
Well, guys, if you didn't see Antonio Brown strip and then skip on through the end zone, leaving the game last weekend, he's officially had his contract terminated as of yesterday. What is going on with Antonio Brown?
Jeff, you want to take this first?
Yeah, well, after doing research, reading up on what exactly his side was, Bruce Arians' side was, and I think it would be great if someone like the NFL Films have all these guys mic'd up on the sidelines, and we could just hear the truth about what's happening. And with Bruce Arians coming out and saying, well, AB, I came to AB. AB was a part of a position group we were calling into the game. And he went over to AB and said, AB, you're in. He said, no, I'm not. I'm not going in. I'm out. And that's when Bruce Arians told him, all right, you're out then. And I can see, I think there's a little to both sides. I'm not going to take Antonio Brown's side, but I think there is something that Bruce Arians isn't telling us. He said, I wasn't aware that Antonio Brown had the ankle injury. You weren't aware. Or you were aware, but you weren't aware of the extent of it. You're the head coach, and he's one of your only wide receivers you have. You're going to be aware of his injury because he had to go before the game and see if he'd even start and play the game. But from Antonio Brown's perspective, the locker room tantrum, it can't happen. And that's Antonio Brown. I mean, are we surprised? The guy goes into the locker room at halftime and complains about not getting enough targets. I'm not going to defend him on that. That's Antonio Brown. That's what the Bucs signed up for. Him coming out of they had to be calmed down. He was making a mess in the locker room, coming back out to the field, and then he refused to go in the game. It's Antonio Brown's fault. Let's get that straight. But I think we shouldn't let Bruce Arians completely off the hook. There's a little more to both sides of this, but you can't. There's better ways to handle it. And Antonio Brown, I'm sure, knows it now, looking back on it. And, we all know the famous Antonio Brown Facebook Live after the Pittsburgh Steelers loss. And him going on Facebook Live, he, after that, said, I shouldn't have done that. It was a bad mistake. What is he thinking now? Running off the field, throwing up the deuces.
Yeah, you realize he probably loves it.
He probably loves a fish. And you know what? They cut him, and he will go through waivers, but he's already said he's getting ankle surgery. He won't be on another roster till next year, if not ever. So it was an idiot move by Antonio Brown, but at the same time, you never really know. You will never. Antonio Brown it's the boy who cried wolf. It's the guy who, he can complain and say this happened. It might have happened to Antonio Brown. We may be judging him, but at the same time, what's your resume say? And Antonio Brown's resume to me speaks volumes, and it says that this man has had issues. He's not paid people. He's physically harmed people. He's threatened people. He's done childish, ridiculous things, antics. I mean, this is Antonio Brown, guys. So my takeaway is I'm glad that the whole thing's over with. The experiment of Antonio Brown is over with. He got a Super Bowl with the Bucs, played great football, but at the end of the day, he's going to be himself. He needs help. He does. And maybe I don't know what's going on inside of his head, but from what I'm seeing, from how he's acting on and off the field, he needs somebody to talk to. I know he's going on Nelk Boys, the podcast, to talk today, and that's a typical Antonio. That's an atypical Antonio Brown move. It's basically a podcast, online podcast, and they just shoot the crap on it. Which that's an Antonio Brown move. Go on a podcast where they'll look at you and say, "Yeah, Antonio, tell your story," and he could feed them all the BS he wants.
Oh, and they
can say, "Dang, Antonio, you're right."
They're gonna clickbait the hell out of that video.
Yeah, they're gonna definitely fish. That's why I'm whatever. I'm gonna check out the podcast, but Antonio Brown, I'm glad it's over at him. I cut him. He's done. The Bucs now are, they have other guys that need to step up, and maybe it's not the best thing for the Bucs, but at the same time, this guy is a cancer, if you will. He's a bad guy, man, and I'm glad it's over with. That's my thoughts on it.
I don't. For me, it's too early because I've seen the text messages now.
Yeah.
I've gotten Bruce Arians' side. I've gotten Antonio Brown's side, and I'm not ready. I'm not ready to take either side. I'm very confused at the moment. 1 minute it's about the injury, the next it's about his bonus money. And I'm sorry, track record matters. And Bruce Arians, not a word out of Bruce Arians in his career. People love him, never a problem. And here we are, Antonio Brown. Do I think Antonio Brown probably overreacted to what happened on the sideline and is making it bigger than it is? Sure. Do I think that Bruce Arians got extremely frustrated on the sideline with Antonio Brown and threatened him? Wouldn't surprise me. Things happen on the sidelines. But that's what you signed up for with Antonio Brown. And I'm not going to sit here and give Antonio Brown a pass because he's playing victim. I don't know enough from either side. I don't know enough yet. And there is no concrete evidence. It's he said, she said about what happened on the sideline. But AB does not have the best track record. Domestic violence, child abuse, rape allegations. Now, should that be factored in this conversation with Bruce Arians? Maybe, maybe not. But honestly, I'm tired of AB. I'm not going to sit here and throw Bruce Arians under the bus just yet until more evidence comes out. It's that simple. Because it wouldn't be fair to me to paint either of them as the all-in-all bad guy until I have more. And right now, I just don't have enough. AB, to his credit, was not a problem in Tampa Bay, at least publicly.
Mm-hmm.
He had gone along, never bothered anyone, and then this random outburst. And then, of course, the leaks of, he brought a woman to the hotel the night before the game. It's a game of he said, she said, and I'm not interested in it. It's a pain. I want to move on from it. Wish AB nothing but the best. But if this actually turns out to be AB was correct in everything, Bruce Arians is going to have to answer for his job. He is. It's a really big mistake if it's true what Antonio Brown is saying. Now, if it's what Bruce Arians is saying, I think both are at fault, and I'm not really mad at either party right now. So I'll leave it there. I do want to get back to Stafford. Patty, very vocal in the chat. Adam, you're setting up Matthew Stafford for failure. How? 38 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, well over 4,000 yards. Second or third in the league in terms of passer rating. Never done that in his career before. Has won the most amount of games he's ever won in his career. They're 12-4, on the cusp of winning the division, hosting a home playoff game. How am I setting him up for failure? I'm not setting him up. He's already successful. He's shown you what he can do with a good roster, a good coach, and a good organization. Detroit, that is what you should strive for. And if that isn't your takeaway this morning, I'm not sure what I can help you with. Honestly. How can I help you? If you are already hell-bent on saying that Stafford never delivers, he's excuses after excuse, mediocre, Pat Stafford, of course. Guys, over the last 25 years, the Detroit Lions are 54, 177, and 1 when Matthew Stafford does not start a football game. That includes his time in Detroit as well. As if your franchise was some remarkable franchise and he walked in and ruined it all. Your franchise has always been nothing, irrelevant, garbage. He came in, you were somewhat stable, you had a few good years, but you always underdelivered. Not only at the quarterback position, guys, at the head coaching position, the GM position, and as a whole, as a front office and organization, you never delivered. And it showed in your draft, your scouting, it's everything else. And I know what you're going to say. Here we go. He's 11-56 against winning teams. I know.
I hate that.
You go look at the Lions' record in the last 25 years
What's
against
that
winning
record?
teams. Do you want to know what it is? No, I know it. I know it. Do you guys want to know what it is?
Say it.
It's 13-98.
Almost a century.
Excuse me. 13-108.
Does Matthew
What
play
is a
both sides of the
century?
ball?
It's hilarious to me. The Lions just have the worst record in a 25-year stretch in the NFL.
I know.
But it's the one guy that was part of it for 12 years that's fault. He leaves for one season, and he's already likely going to win the division, and he's won more games than he's ever won in Detroit.
Right.
I don't get it. I don't get what you guys want. Now you're going to change. Well, he needs to win the Super Bowl? When the hell did you ever have expectations of winning your damn division in Detroit? Let alone to talk about another team and their quote-unquote Super Bowl aspirations.
Yeah. And
You can't have it both ways.
And he's achieved. They expect him to win the division. What is he doing?
The truth is, whether you like it or not, that your organization let you down. Not just Stafford. Did Stafford make a bunch of mistakes and not perform in big games? Absolutely. That is part of his narrative, his career. What quarterback has ever delivered for the Detroit Lions? And now you see him putting up career numbers somewhere else. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't get why we're so naive to the reality of this organization. It's been a mess. It was a mess when he got here. When he got here, you were 0-16.
I know. You haven't had a quarterback
And
since...
you guys cried when he won you your first game.
Yeah. Yeah. You haven't won anything since Bobby Lane.
I just don't get it.
Apparently, that's what we remember.
We are going to knock another team for having Super Bowl expectations. I love that. I love that. The team that won 2 games this year, that I don't even want to get started with this. We got to go to break. When we get back, mailbag time, ask all the questions you want. I'm ready for it. My favorite time of the day. Let's go.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Hi, I'm Kay Cunningham. Working with Hall Financial to purchase my first home was easier than I could have ever imagined. They treated me like family from start to finish. Find out for yourself at callhallfirst.com.
Detroit sports for Detroit sports fans. Woodward Sports is live now.
And welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show. Mailbag time, Jeff. Let's get started. Questions in the chat. Ask away. Be our guest. Stafford is at fault. He needed to stop dropping passes. He needed to help his running backs, wide receivers, and tight ends not fumble more. He needed to help Levy not hold against Dallas. And he needed to not shank a 7-yard punt. Thank you, Funky.
Perfectly put, Funky. Honestly.
All right, let's get the questions in. Do the Spartans beat UofM by double digits on Saturday? Michigan stink. Michigan are in a funk right now. I do not like it. I am concerned for Michigan, but I'm not confident to say which team will win. What I will say is it's going to be a closer game than people imagine. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. What do you got, Jeff? Michigan or Michigan State?
I got Michigan State. I mean, listen, Michigan hasn't been playing great basketball, and Michigan State clearly the better team. I mean, talent-wise, Michigan, yeah, you have better recruits, but Michigan State's been playing better basketball. They have a better system in place. I like their coach, Tom Izzo, doing a great job this year with those guys. Give me the State. Give me Michigan State. I'll say by 10. I mean, I think it'll be relatively close, but give me State, man. It ain't going to be a couple-point game. I think State kind of ultimately runs away with it, but you can't deny how great State's playing. So, Pistons question: if you get rid of KC, who would you have as a coach? It's a great question, Jay. Honestly, that's up to Troy Weaver. And we know GMs already have, a lot of guys that they look around the league. There's assistants. Look at Taylor Jenkins. Taylor Jenkins from Memphis Grizzlies came from Mike Budenholzer, came from the Bucks as an assistant, came over to Memphis, and look at how great he's doing. You got to find assistants. They did it with Dwayne Casey. Dwayne Casey was fired, hired the coach of the G League. And look what they did ever since then. So it's about what Troy Weaver wants and who they find. I'm not going to sit here. I like Mark Jackson personally. There's a lot of guys out there that are great coaches, but we'll see. We'll see what Troy Weaver does.
PGIL61, my friend. Detroit had a near historic defense and couldn't put up enough points. Excuse me? Are we talking about the Jim Schwartz defense that went 10-6 that year? That played the New Orleans Saints, who went on to win the Super Bowl.
Yep.
that playoff game where I believe the Saints put up, 42, 45 points? That defense? Or are we talking about the 11-5 defense? That after the Lions had punted on 4th and 1, they allowed the Cowboys offense to run up and down the field on them, right? That defense. Adam, he's always had the same opportunity in Detroit. No, he hasn't.
What?
Has he ever had a coach like Sean McVay? Nope. Has he ever had a GM like Les Snead? Nope.
Has he ever had two of the best defensive players at the position?
Nope. Has he ever had an offensive line that good? Nope. Has he ever had, I would say, a complete wide receiving core? I think you could argue it, yeah. I think you could say for sure.
Cup and Calvin, but still.
Cup and Calvin, but also without Robert Woods, it's hard to say this core is better than what the Lions had.
Yep.
So, yeah, I get it. It doesn't fit into your narrative with what Stafford's doing this year. I really get it, guys. Pistons should hire Juwan Howard. I don't know about that.
Yeah, that's
Juwan Howard.
Come on, let's just.
Juwan Howard needs to get his own program in shape right now before he goes and tries to fix another one. Let's see. In your opinion, will the Lions ever make it to a Super Bowl as long as the Fords are the owners?
I mean,
I have 58 years that tell me no, but look, I mean, they got to get it right at least 1 year, right?
They have to.
So I'm gonna say yes, they do.
Yeah.
We got screwed against Dallas. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You know why you didn't get screwed against Dallas, even though they did pick up that flag?
Do you think
it
actually
didn't go for it on
wasn't?
4th and 1?
Oh,
Nope.
okay.
You didn't stop them on defense. Oh, and you still got the ball back even after they had the lead. And you didn't go down and score.
But Adam, they're the pivotal play in the game.
And you know what's funny? In that Dallas game, don't you guys ever go back and watch it and watch what happened when that flag was thrown?
And this guy took his helmet off.
Don't you see Matthew Stafford on the sideline arguing vehemently, disgusted with the referees? Like, you guys are picking it up. You already called it. He's the one lobbying for it. Where's the head coach?
Chillax it.
Where's the head coach? Just like this. Put the camera on me, Sawyer, please. This is your head coach. After the defensive pass interference call.
Well, because there's nothing he can do.
All right, it's 4th and 1. Yeah.
Looks like you're waiting in line at the DMV.
Hey, what are we doing for dinner after this?
Yeah.
That's your head coach.
It's very similar to baseball coaches or baseball managers and umps. There's nothing they can do. They can argue all they want. Doesn't mean they're going to win.
So I like what Easy said here. The same way you can't completely blame him for the loss, you can't completely credit him for the wins. Of course not. And that's the argument, actually, Easy. Is that when have you ever given Stafford the situation and the surrounding cast that you've given him in Los
that
Angeles?
He can succeed despite.
You've never had that in Detroit, and that's why they're so successful in Los Angeles. Ramsey, Donald, Kupp, McVay, Les Snead, the organization, the mindset of the Rams. 5 straight winning seasons, the most wins they've had in 3 years almost. That's the point. It's not that Stafford is Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady. No, he isn't. Hell no, he isn't. Stafford's an above-average Tier 2 quarterback. He's not in the top 3, top 5. He's playing at a top 5 level this year, but way too many interceptions. But so does Joe Burrow, and everybody loves him. So again, what do you think? This is one of the better teams he's ever had, the best coach he's ever had. They got to deliver. Now it's time to see what you can actually do with Stafford. But don't tell me that it was all on Stafford and all those years of losing. No. You can't do that. Can't do that.
It's easy to discredit. I mean, that's people love discrediting.
You won an average of 7 games when he started a full season. You know what you did the previous 20 years? You won an average of 4.7. That's a big difference. 2.3 wins above replacement. That's a big difference, guys. So can we just chill out for a little bit? And just understand, all right, maybe our organization just didn't do enough. Maybe our organization just didn't do enough consistently at a good enough level to allow our football team to flourish and win football games. So can we just stop the Stafford narrative nonsense? That he can't deliver, he can't do this, he can't do that. Like the hell any Detroit person has ever done it. Stop. Just stop it. We got to end the show. Guys, thank you so much for being part of the Morning Woodward Show. It is Thursday. Wait, is today Friday?
Friday.
Yeah, it's Friday. Ding.
Well, I told you every day is the same for me, guys. I hope you enjoy your weekend. But before I go, he finally commented. He had the chance but couldn't move on the Cowboys. He had the chance and didn't cash in. Dude is a good quarterback, but he's not the guy. Are you sure he's not the guy? What is your definition of the guy? Because if it's Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, there's only two of them in the league. Is Joe Burrow the guy? Justin Herbert the guy? Josh Allen? Is he the guy? He hasn't delivered yet. Keep the narrative. Swipe it away. I know you're never going to listen, and just accept that he's a really good quarterback in the NFL and that you can win with him. But it's okay.
Yeah.
Enjoy your weekend, guys. Hope to see you Sunday for the Lions pregame show.
Yep.
Down at the Tin Roof. It'll be the last one of the year.
I'll be at the game.
Pre and post game show. Jeff will be at the game while Aaron Rodgers secures his MVP.
Yep. That is true.
Everybody have a great weekend. Thank you so much. Sawyer, thank you so much for filling in for Alex Westfall. Everybody, for myself, Jeff, Fish, and Sawyer, have a great weekend. Thank you for tuning in. Big D Energy coming up at 11.
At 11.